Hi, everyone. I think the thing got stuck. We can't get back. We can't come out from behind the damn overlay. No.
What are you talking about? We're right here.
There we
No.
go. Welcome.
I feel like
We're-
the three jobbers who can't find their way to the ring.
We never will.
Style.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad. I'm falling into the groove of this new world for Dirt Sheet Radio. It's a whole new world, and I gotta sit in a fucking front of it like
Someone's
a
gonna
goddamn George Lucas or something. Like it's fucked up. They put the wrong guy in charge of this stuff, but I am.
Is it pronounced Han or Han? Well, whatever.
I never really thought of it when I wrote it down. I thought it was like it's both. No,
And he went with the surprisingly realistic choice of different species say it differently.
I don't know if I'm supposed to. I didn't realize that my camera battery would die after doing the AEW Dynamite post show. So I'm here with the much lower quality cell phone camera propped up on top of a computer monitor setup this evening.
Wow, that Dynamite post show was great. Who else was on that, John?
That's a great way to mention that Nick was on the Dynamite post show. He's right here, I think.
That's me. I'm Nick.
There you go. He's
this guy.
there. This guy. He's on the Dynamite post show, and he'll be on the Dynamite.
I have to learn how to point the other direction to make my point.
He'll be the guy who's on the show all the time, doing the show stuff. I was just on because I'm a fucking shithead, and I could not control my urge.
John had to be on one of them. Damn it!
I want to be on all of them, man. I really do. I want to be on all of them. Like I wish, and it's not because like I don't trust anybody or whatever. It's just like it's been us for so long. It's so weird to be like, you guys go represent us now. Like, be free. I'm still
The
like
rest of you go. It didn't help too that I called you out. I'm like, John, get in here.
Nick is like grabbed me by the hand and forced me to the dance floor. Hi, I only know this move, and I just break it the fuck down.
And that's it. Wow, look at Michael Jackson on the dance floor.
I mean, genuinely speaking, I can imagine that something that was your baby for so long, like it's hard to just send other people out and be like,
It really is.
How do you say? Represent the brand.
It really
all
is.
you kids.
I get scared because like I did the pay-per-view show and I was like, man, this was so good. And then in my mind, I'm scared now. I'm like, fuck, tomorrow or Monday's the Raw, and I'm not gonna be on that one because I gotta work. I don't get to see the WWE. Like I hope those guys are good, and they fucking kill it. And then the NXT guys, they do the same thing.
Also
they kill
the
it.
concern that like you're gone and you can't moderate that somebody said something like crazy or stupid. You're just like, fuck.
Gonna get us in trouble. No, I think that I did a good enough job vetting before I chose who would be on it. Yeah, I was looking up their histories and stuff as best I can, just kind of see what kind of ideas they have.
Were you reading people's tweets?
I was absolutely reading people's tweets.
The vetting and investigation process.
Yeah. I wanted to get people that really liked the thing they watched, but I didn't want them to be the people that hate.
Yeah, HR. Am I right?
I don't want the shitheads who are gonna like fucking shit on everything, and they're gonna be negative, and they're gonna be doing the Dynamite show and trying to call out WWE and shit, or they're gonna be the guy who thinks he's a heel. I'm the heel of the show. This is not a fucking wrestling show, you weirdo. Like, you're not the heel. You just have an opinion. People don't agree with it because it's dumb.
Great kayfabe, boy.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been accused of being the heel of the show. Just like, no, this is how I actually feel.
That's really Greg. If you think he's the heel, you're fucked up.
Greg is seen as the heel in real life.
He's just a heel. Because it always weirds me out. People do this shit on the pages too, on the social media pages. I'm a heel admin. Shut the fuck up. Like, what does that even mean?
So cringe.
That kills me. I'm
not even a huge fan of the heel commentator these days anymore.
I love Nigel. I'm sorry. He's killing
the
it.
Nigel.
Nigel is killing. He's such a scumbag. He's an asshole. He just shits on Bryan Danielson for no reason, and then it like extended into like shitting on everybody. It's great. I'm sorry, I love him. He plays great with Tony Schiavone, not so much with Kevin Kelly.
I don't mind the Danielson thing because I know it's an extension of a real thing. So
Clam digger.
Like I could deal with the idea that he just hates on Bryan Danielson because they have history.
But he's not like overdoing it.
It makes more sense than Michael Cole.
For sure. Like he's not like I don't think he's overdoing it. I think he's like he just, the heel does the heel thing and the straight lace guy. No, not about Nigel, not yet. It's pretty much or everyone is just like Nigel's great. Because he is. He just takes and agrees with the heel even when the heel's a fucking delusional shitbag, and you just do the regular heel thing. Don't overdo it. Like some people do. I don't get into that. Like I said, I'm not trying to shit on anybody.
No naming names, John.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, I know the guy. Like speaking of people who are just angry about things, I saw a video who of somebody I typically don't even like to watch or listen to because I find him very complainy. I think you know him, John. Like the dude runs OTRS Central.
I know OTRS Central, but I don't know the name of the dude who runs it.
I don't know the name of the dude either, but I just know he always has like this weird sort of twitchy eye thing.
Oh fuck!
Like I don't know if it's a condition, but that's like the certain thing I recognize.
We'll call him Twitch. It's cool.
Sure.
His name is Twitch.
Oh no!
But that dude was bent the fuck out of shape, and I'm bringing this up because I know it relates to you. He was bent the fuck out of shape about Gunther calling the Miz and Rock showman.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his problem?
Because to him, it's like, bro, showmanship is pro wrestling. Why are you calling out pro wrestling for being pro wrestling? And I was just like, man, I feel like you're not. I feel like you're not catching this, dog.
He's missing the whole point. I think the idea is that there are different kinds. Like you have the high flyer, you have the heavyweights, you have the showman, you have the brawlers. Like if it within the context of wrestling, and then if you want to think about it outside of like in a shooty way, then you can. It's got that double meaning to it. But
he felt like he felt like Gunther. He felt upset that Gunther was quote like denigrating these guys for not being quote real wrestlers and being showmen, and then
he's a
made
heel.
all these. Huh?
I said, well, he's a heel. He was trying to be
disrespectful. It is hard to tell these days.
I mean, he's cool. Like they book him against baby faces. That's how you know. That's how you.
No, I mean it's hard to tell when people take these interviews with like Chris Van Vliet and shit like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They were playing. He was playing it. Two sides. I thought he was talking about on Raw because I know.
No, it's like the he's been doing a lot of these YouTuber and other stuff lately. They've had Gunther doing some stuff online.
Yeah. I saw the one clip where he said Miz reminds him of an era of wrestling of an era of WWE that he didn't like to watch.
That's an extension of that.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, "Damn, he's speaking the words from my heart."
Yeah,
he's saying the things.
So he refers to The Rock as like somebody like Hogan, who is like who is synonymous with pro wrestling, but he sees more as a showman than a wrestler.
I can't say that I disagree. Right. I mean,
and then that dude is whole bent out of shape because to his point of view, like a showman is a wrestler, and it's just like, oh Jesus Christ, you were taking this way too seriously, dog.
How dare he make my favorite babyface look bad?
And then like Hogan and Warrior come up, and it's just like, oh dear.
All you had to say is just Warrior, and then that's definitely the oh dear moment.
You can't compare The Rock to Hulk Hogan, man. You can, actually. You can very easily.
Very easily. If anything, The Rock surpassed Hogan in many ways.
Seriously, in many ways.
The Rock made successful movies.
You mean? What do you mean? What isn't was it Thunder Island or whatever?
Thunder in Paradise was a television show, sure.
Was it?
Yes.
Really? I didn't know that. I always thought it was a movie.
No, Thunder in Paradise was a weekly series that aired after Nitro.
How many seasons did it go?
I'm looking it up right now. Over and under. What's your bet?
I don't bet 2.
Your bet is 2?
Yeah.
Nick?
That sounds about right to me too.
Let's see. Thunder in Paradise went a whole 1 season.
Oh, wow. I gave it too much credit. That's great.
Wow.
That's great.
I thought there'd be some backing behind it because of the names involved. But
because of Hogan, right?
Exactly.
I thought it was much more successful because, you know, there's a story. He was on the other lot in the WCW and Eric Bischoff saw him. And then that's how Nitro happened. So that means that it would have had to have been. It was such a beautiful coincidence that it happened because it wasn't going to last very long. He had
22 episodes.
That's crazy. Okay.
We forgot to take into account Hogan's storytelling.
And then, brother, I did my 47th episode of Thunder in Paradise, you see. It's only 22.
If he was really savvy, right, he could say it went, what is it, he could say it went about 3 episodes of what modern TV is today. It's like, yeah, we went like, what was it? You get 8 episode seasons, like 3 seasons, dog.
Basically. if he could Hogan it up, and he would.
Yeah.
That's
By
like
modern day standards, we went 3 seasons. What? No.
Did you hear that The Rock wants to do, not The Rock himself, but $7 Production
wants to produce something?
Is going to team up with Vice to produce a docu-series about the quote-unquote mysterious demise of WCW.
Holy mother of revision history.
What the fuck is mysterious?
We all watched it happen in real time.
We all know what happened. Ain't no mystery about it.
If you'd have watched WCW or anything about it, you would have seen. You'd know the mystery. You'd know what was so mysterious about the demise. I would love to know what it is they're trying to pose it. Like, what is it they're trying to present? What kind of angle they're approaching this at? Because that already makes it seem like they've got an idea for something. Like they've thought of some like some there's got to be some fucking reason. There's no way they just did this. Like there's got to be something. Do you know of any fucking mystery surrounding the death of WCW? Any mystery
other than like the most abstract form of just going, how the fuck did this all happen?
No, exactly. That's literally what I think. The only mystery is who let all of this stuff happen within like this time frame of this company's existence.
Who overnighted Chris Jericho or FedEx with nothing in it?
Who allowed Ted Turner's people to let this stuff go on?
They're gonna do the conspiracy. Did Vince send Vince Russo in as a cancer?
Oh, gosh.
Cancer. You know, WCW was already dying by the time Vince Russo got there. There's a lot of things people don't realize. That shit was on the decline when they sent Vince there. They sent him there because they thought he was going to help fix it.
Have you heard the conspiracy of Vince Russo being a freaking plant?
I've never heard details, but I know that people
not details, but like the vague idea that they think that might have been what happened.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Vince Russo was sent in to destroy WCW as if it needed the help.
Yeah, I never took it serious.
You believe that? I got some homes in town.
You know, I think now though, like we look back at WCW and we talk about it like it was objectively like bad, like they fucked up, and there was a lot of that. But I wonder how much of
it was.
For sure.
Yeah. By the time you get to that point, what do you even need to watch for?
The only thing worth watching 2000 on is Sid.
Sid was great, and I love his theme song.
Booker T. Get the Booker T push.
The last 3 months of it was a good idea. I was very happy for Booker T when that happened. I genuinely felt like somebody who had seen, like, obviously none of the off TV stuff before that, like we get with Danielson and other stuff guys these days, but I had felt like I had seen Booker T's career rise from being like, was he Kane or Cole?
He was what? Oh shit! That early
the
WCW
first Hall of Heat name, yeah.
Oh shit, that's a good question. Cole, I think it's Cole.
He was Cole. Yeah.
He was Cole. So like, I feel like I had seen him rise from being Cole on Harlem Heat all the way to main event Booker T, and that felt good. I felt like he deserved it.
I like to say that, yeah, absolutely.
You know, it felt like the right babyface to be there.
So were you watching WCW at the time? Like when it was dying?
Yes. I watched it all the way to the end.
How much
I
of
am a fucking weirdo.
How much of it were you enjoying though? Because I feel like a lot of people were enjoying some of it. They're the people because there were people in the fucking arena and they were rabid and they were excited and they had relevant signs and they knew what was going on. Like some people somewhere enjoyed the things that were going on WCW TV.
So I'll start from like 2000, right? And we've got I missed a bit of it because of a time where I didn't have cable. We'll go from like, if we're starting with the 2000 pay-per-views, I didn't mind the heel DDP run. The Jersey Triad wasn't all that bad. It was a little weird though.
It was fun. You got the opportunity to see
like
a lot
Bam
of what
Bam.
Canyon could do. I just like Canyon randomly running up and giving people the Canyon Cutter.
That was later, but yes.
Okay.
That was after Mike Awesome threw him off the cage and he went crazy.
Guys, I know Nick. I know your house. You guys are a WCW house, right?
We were a WCW NWA house through and through, and I think that's a real interesting and unique perspective because a lot of people I've personally met online and in real life were the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're the first WCW guy I know in real life.
Like WCW guy? Like
yeah.
Over WWF, you mean?
Yeah, like because you know where I grew up, WWF was the thing, and I only knew about WCW when they started branding
as a history piece.
No, I knew about it as contemporary, but when it was late in the game when they started branding NWO like if it was also WCW, like not on the TV, but like on the merchandise.
NWO.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was. I thought NWO was the wrestling company too. I thought when I was a kid,
AEW New Japan.
Yeah, no, but I thought like something like that, but I wouldn't have known. I thought NWO WCW was.
You wouldn't have the context of it, but like that's what it looked like to you.
Yeah, I specifically remember learning about them from like people's shirts in school. Like some people had like a Goldberg, like one dude had a Goldberg jersey, and he thought he was fucking
football jersey.
Yeah, like
that
a blue and black Goldberg football jersey. I remember.
Expensive.
And he thought he was the shit because he had the fucking Goldberg jersey and everybody else is wearing DX and Suck It. And he's got fucking Goldberg. Goldberg's better than Stone Cold.
A friend of mine had the Y2J hockey jersey, which is like $100-something back
Damn it.
That's
great. Keep unplugging my damn mic. I'm going to fucking die.
Oh, no.
But yeah. And
another thing I enjoyed, I thought the Cruiserweight stables in WCW were fun.
Oh, towards what, like the LWO and shit?
Not the LWO, but they started doing 3 count and the Young Dragons.
3 count I know about from the ladder match when that's how I learned about them. After
the Young Dragons, I think, are in that.
Yeah. But 3 count stood out more because they're like fucking insane.
The boy band.
Yeah.
Can't get you out of my heart. Yeah. It's even more hilarious knowing that like Shane is a big rap guy.
Shane's a fucking dick. He was arguing with us on Twitter.
That's funny, dude.
Was he?
Yeah, he thinks he somebody posted like, you need to be respectful of people on a plane when their baby's crying because they don't want the baby to be crying just like you don't want the baby to be crying. And he was like, well,
okay. See, I didn't know we were involved in that, but I saw Shane arguing with another wrestler about the baby thing.
He did. He posted like, well, they shouldn't bring the baby on a plane. And I was like, well, how many people do you think ever unnecessarily bring the baby on the plane? Like, I don't have to travel with this baby, but I think
brought the
will
baby on the
today.
plane and then purposely agitated them.
I shook it.
Man, whoa.
Wow.
I said like we hit record cancellation on the Wednesday recap for Dynamite. I think now 20 minutes in.
Oh god, I gotta see how you did that.
If the Twitch thing didn't get us, this will do it. Oh man.
This is the unhinged vibe I love about Wednesday nights.
We should probably talk about wrestling at some point. Really. I did cut Greg off because I asked you the question. I asked you the question about WCW in the first place.
Going beyond wrestling, guys. Team 4-Star.
No. Oh
Hello.
my god. Yeah, like I said, there were things to be enjoyed about it. I enjoyed retroactively I enjoyed the Sid powerbomb run of like 2000. Everyone gets powerbombed, everybody dies. I even kind of enjoyed their wacky set with the new logo for Nitro.
The big WCW set.
Yeah.
I think that it gives me like concert vibes. I don't know how to explain it.
I hated that set so much, but I was so in love with like the regular like iron and light rigs that they had for the early Nitro.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Because there's no Videotron, right? There's no Tron. There's no videos. There's just the WCW. Right?
Toward the end, you get one, but like
okay.
Like
I think that maybe that's what it
into
is.
2001, you get a Videotron, but like that's when things got so bad for WCW that they used the same set for every show.
Yeah.
Shit.
So like it looks a lot like what we complain about with AEW now, who had the same set for the pay-per-views and both shows.
Yeah.
That's
at
what it
least they're trying, but I'm still bothered sometimes. I was like, damn it, they just raised the collision screens.
Yeah, that's what I told. Did you see that, Nick?
For
Full Gear?
For Full Gear, I said like it looks like the collision show, but they just raised the screen.
They put the screens up. They put a gear
that what
strip?
they did? I like the gear strips because it felt different at least, but at the same time, it's like they could have done more. They have more. They have all of those gears that they used like the last several years. Why did they bring any of those out?
That's why it bothers me that they only raised the collision stage, because I'm like, you have gears. I saw them. You had a whole
John
setup.
Was mad as fuck when like the first set had real pliable touchable gears, and then the second set had LED gears.
I can't believe the downgrade.
It is very much a downgrade. I agree.
Crazy to me.
And for me, it's like I like conceptually. I like the big I like the LED use in sets. I just think we can have LED structures.
I get that. I mean, I get that.
Structures with LEDs. Don't
who
just
did
have
that?
LED things.
You know who did that? The very first All In show. It was It was
that
LEDs.
big Bullet Club thing?
Yeah, it was LEDs, but they were shaped like the Bullet Club. Like it was a structure. It was an actual LED structure.
Yeah.
And then when the Videotron played, it played in the Bullet Club shape. You know, like but it was still a structure. It was cool. I liked that stage. I had to rewatch that show sometime.
Oh, isn't it free on YouTube? Or maybe
It
not
is
anymore.
free. It might not be, and it also has like some ads on it. And I think they cut out like the Joyce Ryan penis thing.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
I liked it at the time because it was so fucking ironic. It was like a weird, like we're making fun of the Undertaker thing, but they were penises instead of druids. It was just so fucking ridiculous. They were chanting "Rest in penis."
It is so interesting to me how often I think people like enjoy some of the dumb shit in wrestling when they're just like, oh, it's making fun of the other thing, until you just realize it's its own thing, and it's like, oh, you just thought this was funny.
It was penis druids. Okay, they were penis druids. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, immature garbage that appeals to only people like me who were mentally stunted at 18 for the rest of their life.
People who, and I'm just gonna bring this up because we had the conversation off camera. People who grew up with dirty ass Master Roshi jokes.
Yes. That man was a borderline. You know, he was an assault. He was a predator.
He was a bad person. He may have been a predator.
He was a no person.
He was stranger danger.
I haven't found the All In show, but I did see that they still have All Out 2019 on the YouTube.
Oh, I forgot they did that once. I think it was during COVID times. I can't remember why. There was one Wednesday where they didn't air Dynamite, and instead they put up
the pay-per-view
the pay-per-view on YouTube, and they were like, "So you still have AEW on this Wednesday
for 3 hours."
For 3 hours, it's fun. It was good. That was a good show. I remember these.
I see Pac versus Omega over here.
It's a great match. Surprising finish.
Is he hurt?
Pac was hurt supposedly. I don't know how that goes because
I see.
his schedule's weird. You know, like
He would have been great
It's
for
a
this tournament.
mysterious pack thing that just conveniently happens.
He would have been great for this tournament.
he fucking I think that they have a deal that's different from other deals because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like
Okay.
I can't imagine that they're like, okay, Pac, we only needed you for these 3 matches. You can go back to Europe and get paid forever, like to do nothing. You're one of the highest, you're one of the fucking high class wrestlers that we have here. We book you strong as
Highest
shit.
caliber.
Highest caliber wrestlers we have here. We book you strong as shit. You rarely fucking lose here. Every time we bring you in, you look great. Go home. I can't imagine that's what's going on. There has
Also,
to be,
has AEW accepted as a people that like
as a
Shida
people.
is just better than Riho?
I think so. No, maybe
Maybe we made a mistake in 2019.
Some people think that. Who was saying that? They were saying that on the Dynamite.
Yeah,
post show earlier.
someone
Wait, really?
mentioned that. Yeah,
They were like, she's not a believable wrestler because she's
that
Rio
like,
was controversial.
Rio,
Oh,
because she's 98 pounds. And I was like, well, I mean,
but isn't that only 40 pounds less than most of the girls?
I'm saying there's that, but there's also the fact like that in kayfabe, like she is already, like if you're still believing that, she's already been champion and she's already beat half these bitches. So like, she is not only believably able to beat anybody on the roster, like that puts her above half the girls you cheer for. So like in story,
I
her
just
weight
like
shouldn't mean anything.
it's an interesting conversation to have about believability in the sense that, and then we'll probably move on. In the sense that if you want to argue that like Riho is too small to beat these women, then we have to have the argument that everyone just stands in front of Orange Cassidy and lets him do his shtick.
Rey Mysterio is smaller than every fucking body he wrestles.
Hey, he's going back to WCW. Remember that he was the giant killer.
Yeah, he beat Scott Norton and Kevin Nash.
Jesus. I had that whole conversation. I put them in their place. No.
He has the greatest. Scott Norton has the best sell ever to a low blow.
Scott Norton's just the best period.
He just
Wasn't
stiffens
he
up and
back?
goes over
Didn't
like
he-
timber.
Arm wrestling champion.
Yes,
Did he come
was.
back for like one match this year where he teamed with the NWO guys at New Japan show?
That did happen. I don't know if it was this year.
Why does that sound familiar?
That sounds
Because I don't think it was this year, but I think it did happen. He was in terrible shape, but I think it did happen.
We're in November now. All the things that seemed like they were a year ago were this year. That's what I'm trying
That's
to keep
fair.
in my
That's
brain.
also a fair
That was
point.
another thing we talked about is just like losing track of the time of different matches and whatnot, like with Ty Conti and Anna Jay versus Bunny and Penelope.
Yeah, but I knew that. I knew that because
Okay,
that happened in the good times.
It was not. It was not this year.
Wow.
You're thinking
Fuck my life.
New Japan, Windy City Riot, United Empire versus Bullet Club, but Scott Norton's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. What year was that? Last year?
April 2022.
Okay, yeah, that was last year. Yeah, that's definitely what I was thinking of. That's hilarious, though.
He's had some like off and on shots here and there. The
That's
last
such
time
a-
I saw Scott Norton, he took an L to like, I think Giant Bernard to sort of put Bernard over as the new Gaijin
Yeah,
Super
I was
American.
gonna say like that's such a GCW booking. Like Scott Norton teams with the Bullet Club.
Joey Janela did book Scott Norton to beat him in 2017.
Did he?
Yes.
That's such a. I just feel like teaming the NWO guy with the Bullet Club is like the ironic. It's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a non-New Japan. Like whose idea was that? Like you guys are. Who that wasn't you, Ghetto. Like who was that? Rocky? Like Rocky's got a sense of humor.
My favorite was Chono bringing in the NWO guys for one of the Wrestle Kingdoms. Like, oh yeah, technically we are both NWO. Just nobody talks about the Japanese chapter.
I forgot what were they? NWO 2000.
Just NWO Japan.
No, yeah, they were just NWO Japan or
The fuck was
NWO
that?
Typhoon.
The fuck was NWO 2000? What is that? Was that not a
That's
thing?
Brett and Jarrett.
That was Jarrett.
Okay. That was a thing. Oh God, man!
Yep, Black and Silver, Brett, Jarrett, and a few other guys. Yeah.
that WCW really was bad.
It's understandable, I suppose.
were you a fan, Nick? Did you enjoy this?
Not in that era.
Okay.
By that point, that's when we turned into WWF fans. Then.
Oh jeez.
You just like, but
I
also like, a bunch of these WCW guys went over there. Maybe we just watch them there.
No, exactly. That was the thing. And like as a WCW guy growing up, like the first couple years post WCW were awesome because like all the people I loved in WCW, like Guerrero, Jericho, Booker T, Benoit, like all of them were over there in WWE. So it worked out.
Perry Saturn was also there, but we don't.
Briefly.
Have you seen Moppy?
Longer than Malenko though?
Have you seen Moppy?
Was he?
Just remember, Perry Saturn was drafted to SmackDown and wrestled one match on the brand, and that was it.
No fucking way. In 2002?
Yep, in 2002, he was drafted to SmackDown. He wrestled like a house show, and then he got injured, and then they released him.
Okay, now I have to see their last matches.
That's great. I guess we should talk about some wrestling from this week.
Some contemporary.
The Devil. Is he CM Punk? Or is CM Punk Shinsuke's mystery opponent?
I love how that sounds out of context. We should talk about some contemporary wrestling. Satan!
Satan! Has he been CM Punk all along?
Has CM Punk been Satan?
I mean,
radio investigative series.
Technically speaking, he did post the promo where he was indeed.
He did. He's
cut that promo twice, hasn't he?
He's just being a dick. He's not the fucking devil.
He's just being silly. He's just a
greatest trick the devil ever pulled, John.
It is. It is.
He's got a point.
And he was originally connected to the storyline. Like he was MJF came out with the devil mask to confront him. It was supposed to be that, but that doesn't fucking matter.
The angle that MJF conveniently ignored the entire
He's like,
time.
whoops, what a convenient excuse not to deal with this asshole anymore. No, I don't know. That I can just imagine. I mean, I don't even think it needs to be said. I just think it's crazy how much people are talking about CM Punk. I think more than CM Punk, they have to worry about who the fuck the devil's gonna be, period. Because I don't know who you could possibly reveal it to be that would satisfy people. I think you should
Jack Perry. No.
That's the complete opposite of satisfaction.
Child. What's fucked up is that logically that wouldn't be a bad choice, but just he's not in a good place for that. He's just
I had a friend of mine ask me why, and I was just like, it's just the simple idea that like he's been gone for a while. This is the comeback, and it's like on paper that tracks, but god damn, is it terrible?
Yeah.
I think that you should stay the course, leave it as Adam Cole, and do the Adam Cole thing. And besides the MJF story, it lends itself to getting turned on by a friend. You know? I think that I did a cool thing there with the graphic that I realize I can do now, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy about that.
We're learning as we go, folks.
So my thing was like, I thought there was a very clear through line, and then and then I felt like it didn't happen because they went a different direction, which was okay. MJF has to put himself in a position where he has to prove he is the person. He has to prove he is the new person he claims to be by not only saying yes to Joe, but granting Joe the thing he promised by saying yes to him.
Yeah.
So like he can easily turn his back on it, but that's what Joe said. Like if you are the person you claim to be now, you'll do what you say.
So here's my thing, and I think I talked about this earlier on the Dynamite show a little bit. Was that I think that this was yet another Adam Cole being the devil thing.
The swervature.
But I don't know if did you get to see the MJF segment, Greg?
Tonight, no.
Okay, so MJF,
I know he speaks to Joe.
Yeah, he comes out with Adam Cole though. He comes out with Adam Cole, and then
is he still on crutches?
Yeah, MJF is actually in a fucking cane because he popped his hip out, and they had to
shocking.
They had to put it back.
I'm sorry.
In place.
Whoa,
me and John were both like, "That's a hip surgery."
I thought that was I thought MJF doing the elbow drop outside from that height was insanity, and not in a good way. That was like cuckoo
It's the way he
crazy.
bounced on the ground.
I commend the sack it took to make that decision. I'd have made a different one.
I don't know if I would have made a different one, and I think that's what makes me sad about it, because I think in the moment you don't want to embarrass yourself. Like, the table broke, and you think to yourself about every time you ever saw it on TV, and you laughed at it, and you're like, "This cannot be me.
cringe.
This cannot be me." And it's a
I
split
just
second
set up a
thought.
new table.
You don't got one. It's the end
There
of the
was money
show.
under that ring.
No,
You
I was
think that would-
thinking like all you gotta do is just take like the paneling from that table, lean it across it, lay Jay White on it, and then
power
just
bomb
jump.
him or something, or yeah, that
Oh,
works.
there's any of those. There's any of those choices. Absolutely.
But I thought that not having something to break his fall was just insane. Like
That was crazy.
crazy.
You talking about the floor was right there.
Yeah, he bounced.
What are you
Yeah,
guys
he did.
talking about? There's padding he landed on.
He landed that shit so flush on Jay White. Like, pow, pow. I was like, that's
Like he did.
that's gonna
Yeah,
be something.
there wasn't even a trick to like take the impact off the elbow drop that you can tell when people are doing something. Like no, he just flushed it.
But getting back to the, I guess, CM Punk of it all, the
Look at it all.
this fucking Shinsuke Nakamura at the same time has been doing this call out angle. He's
Oh,
calling
has he?
out this person, and he doesn't say
He's
who
calling
it
out
is.
a person or anyone.
A person.
Okay.
He's even saying like, "Where are you? Like, I'm waiting for you. Like,
Where
When
are
are you-
you?
I
When
did
you-
your finish.
I think
What
that
up,
people have taken it like that for sure. Like, because Shinsuke did the goddamn go to sleep on the stage
I was
that one
actually,
time.
I won't say I was. I must say I was actually slightly disappointed that he just didn't keep. I thought that was just his new finish.
That's what
and I
makes
was
it even
kind of
more
okay with that.
suspicious.
It's getting sus.
I thought that was like Shinsuke, like, yeah, I'm doing to go to sleep now. I was like, I'm okay with that. As a heel, I'm okay with replacing the fucking Kinshasa for the go to sleep.
So he's been doing this call out angle, and WWE is adamant that CM Punk is
Has
not
nothing to do with the company.
coming to Chicago. He's not at the show. They even
Stop ruining our shows
announced,
with the chance.
they even had Cody basically almost announce who the fuck is that Randy Orton's gonna be his partner at the pay-per-view.
Just to take the scent off CM Punk.
Yeah. And but then he didn't say like Randy didn't come out, or it was
No.
weird.
They just booked it just to be like, hey, it's not Punk.
It's not Punk, it's Randy Orton. I mean, my friend, the Viper person who's got.
Wait, does
and
he
it-
never say Randy Orton?
It was weird. It was weird. It was a lot of hinting, and I can't even say if he said it or not. Nick, did you
Okay.
watch it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Goddamn. It was
I watched
Everyone's
Dynamite,
ran
that's
with
what
Randy Orton
matters.
so hard that
It
I figured he finally came out and said it.
It wasn't even weird. It was just that you could tell like Randy wasn't there because they didn't plan this long enough to actually fly him out. Like they just realized people think it's CM Punk. Let's do this Randy Orton thing.
Now's the time.
But yeah, I'm very interested in the reaction when CM Punk doesn't show up on Saturday, because I just don't. He's not fucking coming. Like he's not.
No more major wrestling promotion CM Punk for anyone.
Seriously.
That's done. That's done for this man. I don't see that coming.
Even Chicago's had enough.
Unless someone is just foolish enough to do it, which at this point I don't even know anymore.
Probably Impact Beans. We need the new person for our brand. We lost Ospreay. Not that she ever had a chance. I'm sorry. I don't see
True.
But yeah, this CM Punk thing is hilarious to me. I just think it's funny. That
I guess the fun
faster.
thing at this point, at least even if it's just speculation sake, is to ask the question: do you think there is any chance WWE gets in bed with them?
I thought there was a chance, but I don't think they have to. I think the fact that they don't.
Oh yeah,
have
no, they
to-
absolutely don't have to. They've got the upper hand in this negotiation.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think if they wanted to be petty, if it was Vince, I think he might have.
Vince.
I don't
is
think-
tend to
I don't
All
think he
his
likes
faults
Punk enough,
is-
though. That's another
Vince, for
thing.
all
like-
his faults, is just just above pettiness a lot of these times if there's
I don't
money
think
involved.
I don't think Vince likes CM Punk though. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think he does either.
But he likes
And I
money.
don't. He does like money, but I don't think he looks at Punk like money. I
I
don't
feel
think
like
he
the booking
sees.
is still a
the
good
booking
draw.
would suggest that.
Yeah. I mean, remember his whole 4-3-4 run? He was
With
he
like
was
2 main events, all with Cena.
yeah, exactly.
But remember, that was a whole different time frame though, because that was like
True.
just straight up Cena whole
Domination.
Cena mania.
Cena and John Laurinaitis main eventing over CM Punk and Bryan Danielson
With a big show
with the
turn.
title on the line. Craziness. Anyway, fucking
That's the
Oh
thing. Remember
God,
that
you know what
era.
that reminds me of? That reminds me of dead-faced John Laurinaitis about to get the attitude adjustment.
People power.
This CM Punk is done in pro wrestling. I think he might show up for like a spot independent show, but what
That's what
else?
he's been known to do before for his friends.
Yeah, he'll show up at Ace Steel's next fucking indie event or something. I don't.
Hey, Steel.
He did it to himself. I don't feel bad, and people that think otherwise are fucking blind. They're blind they're blind in their fandom. I'm sorry, that's just what it is.
I am of the opinion in the end that like I think if you're trying to figure out who is right and who is wrong, you're not seeing the whole picture. They're all wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
everyone fucked up in this situation.
There's no
Terrible
right
situation.
or wrong at the end of the day in this situation because they're all wrong. Actually, the question was, how could we have avoided this? This outcome
catastrophe.
Yeah, how could we have avoided CM Punk being fired?
And there's a lot of answers to that question. And every answer kind of leads to another answer.
Yep.
I just honestly believe at the end of the day, you control yourself. I don't believe that you can be like, it's not my fault that I punched him in the face. No, I think once you punch him in the face, you actually took it upon yourself, and you should. That's your fault.
Right.
I think you then it becomes, well, you shouldn't have provoked him, and it's like, well, yes, that's true, but your reaction to that is what led to you losing your job. You know, like that. Like,
that's the kind of conversation people don't like having in that sense. So it's just like, okay, yes, like guy A punched this dude in the face, and then someone goes like, yeah, but so and so provoked him, and it's like both are correct. He's an asshole for provoking him. The other guy is still an asshole for throwing the punch. They're both wrong.
Exactly.
At work on this night of all the nights in the fucking universe, it was that night.
There is blame to be passed for the fact that the dude provoked them, but Jesus.
Pick that phone back up, Nick. I love that. That was beautiful. What? Look at that.
Dirty radio phone case.
Hey.
God, that's gorgeous. Yeah.
I like I said, it would be incredibly interesting to see him pop up. Do I think it would be a great decision? No. But like, I'm not gonna pretend I'm not gonna watch as if I'm the asshole who watches NASCAR for the car crashes. But
Greg, that is 100% though, like how I feel about anything CM Punk related for both if he shows up at Survivor Series or even if it's revealed that he's the devil. Like either way, it's never gonna happen. But if it did somehow, some way happen, I'd be impressed and I'd be watching.
I think like this is a poor decision, but I'll tell you what, I ain't bored.
Exactly, 100%.
I would be scared to see CM Punk show up in AEW. I swear, like if he showed up in Survivor Series, like fine, whatever. Like
the Jacksons would also be scared.
Other people are in charge. Tony Khan would be scared. What the fuck for his life?
You see, the conspiracy is that's why they're going on their hiatus, their sabbatical, if you will, because they found out that CM Punk is indeed the devil. Confirmed.
Oh my god, could you imagine? No, I think I would be worried.
Like fucking children.
You see, when Danhausen was returning, it was obviously a clear indication.
Oh my god. No. I don't.
Did we talk about that last week?
The Danhausen thing?
Yes.
He showed up on TV this week.
Did he?
So he did.
With
He
his boys.
Amongst all that supposed
yeah. He's making fun of it now on Twitter.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I assume maybe they did the Danhausen tease too early and then pulled it back, and he wasn't happy with that. But Orange Cassidy came out on Dynamite, and he was like, "Hey, I forgot to make an announcement. I brought a surprise, and it's fucking Danhausen." And I was like, "Ugh." But that's me.
Are you not a fan?
It's not my thing. It's probably not the kind of thing I want to be watching on AEW, honestly. But I mean, they do
I'm not
the
gonna
buffet thing. They do the buffet thing, and they have different styles for everybody, and that's one of the foods I skip at the buffet. But yeah, no, Randy Orton is probably back, and like we talked about, Cody.
Has it been a year?
More, I think.
No more.
He had a career-ending injury. I think doctors even told him that he might never wrestle again.
Yeah.
I imagine that.
And wasn't there also like a very like damning comment about how like the RKO has fucked him up?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think did he have some kind of fusion in his back?
Maybe.
Some of that. It was the same type of procedure I know that Bobby Roode had, which basically retired him.
Yeah, so I'm wondering.
Is he retired?
Yeah, basically, he hasn't wrestled, and he was working to try to do production, like to produce matches.
Huh?
Like the Jason Jordan position.
It's pretty much all but confirmed at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like he's doing the quiet thing then.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a shame. I felt like they lost. I felt like they wasted a talent in him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they did. Especially with how over he got in the beginning.
Glorious.
That was so cool. I remember that shit. Man, that gives me goosebumps.
The glorious shit.
I still remember being at the NXT and being so hyped to do one. Like, yeah, I'm here for glorious. It was fucking. I still have the selfie video somewhere.
Just John in the fucking building waiting for the fucking guitar thing to end.
That motherfucker shredded.
That was, oh my god. I'm so sorry.
What the hell just happened?
I turned on Dynamite and the first thing I saw, woo!
Oh, woo energy.
Woo energy, baby. No flair, but lots of it. Oh, what was it they said where it's like, if you want to be the man, you got to drink the can?
Yeah.
That is weird.
That's actually hilarious. That sounds dirty.
It does. It was funny, and I appreciated it.
That logo is hideous.
Hideous.
They had
definitely notice it.
They had the thing up there all night.
Hands on the desk. My God.
Oh yeah, the official energy drink of AEW. Can you fill mine with water, please?
You heard?
No, fill mine with water. If you could.
We all need to get a Woo energy and drink it on camera.
No, don't do that to me. No. I'm a Monster guy myself. I like Monster, the normal one.
When I indulge in that sort of stuff, I like Monster juice.
They have Monster Juice?
Juice.
Okay.
Oh.
Juice?
Really?
Robinson?
Yes.
They have that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I've never seen that.
I will show it to you.
Y'all in your energy drinks. I have a heart condition, so I have to tend to avoid stuff like that. However, I don't
blame you.
I do.
It's how you get heart conditions as well.
Exactly. I overindulge in iced coffee, which some might argue is just as bad for you.
I was gonna say, is it not the same fucking thing?
It's more like kind of like dairy
not the
down.
Same brand of caffeine, and you're not and you're not dumping that fucking what's it called?
It's like very dairy
in your system.
Yeah, it's very dairy down, and there's like a lot of other stuff in there. Like it's more, I'd say, like sweetened sugar. It's basically like chocolate milk, kind of.
Kind of. I don't like. I'm not a coffee guy. I've never done coffee, and I don't drink Monster energy drink. Like that's not like my morning beverage. Like that's if I slept 3 hours and I have to drive a bus. I'll drink one and it still works because I don't drink it so much that it actually does wire me if I drink one. Like, wow, I'm awake. But there was a time period where I worked in a deli I worked in the Bronx in a deli. I made sandwiches and shit, and I drunk. I had
The
access
most
to
Puerto
that.
Rican thing you've ever said.
I made good
I
sandwiches.
say that as someone who loves you.
I
Genuinely.
made good
It's time for your Puerto
sandwiches.
Rican intervention, John.
I make good sandwiches, damn it. New York sandwiches. I have skills, okay? I swear.
For those of you who are not like
I can make a bacon, egg, and cheese.
used to,
A
I'm
real
gonna
one.
get to that. If you, to those of you who are not like used to New Yorkers, the bacon, egg, and cheese is one word.
One word. It's
You have
one
to
word.
say it
It's
all
the-
together.
Bacon, egg, and
It's the
cheese.
state. It's the state
If you
bird.
come to a New York bodega and you ask for a bacon, egg, and cheese, people will look at you weird.
Imagine. Oh, can I have an egg, cheese, and bacon?
Oh, ooh.
If they're gonna
What a
treat you
what?
like the dude, they're gonna treat you like they treated the dude that asked for a scooped out bagel. Did you hear about that shit? The dude walks into a New York bagel shop
I
and he
did.
asks for
scooped bagel.
not just a scoop, not just a scooped bagel. It was a vegan. Can I get a vegan?
Oh
can I
my
get
God.
a
Oh, you
scooped-
know this was a hipster.
Can I get a scooped vegan bagel? He says he's from LA. He's in New York.
That
Walks
explains it.
into a New York bagel shop, asks for a scooped vegan bagel. You disrespected this bagel man twice in the same sentence. He was promptly told to get out. Because how you gonna ask me to scoop your fucking bagel? What do I look like, your bitch? Get out of my fucking store.
That's also how we in Chi-Town will treat the LA hipsters when they approach.
Scooped bagel. Get the fuck out of here.
They're ruining everything.
I was just
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
that. I used to drink-
Gentrify this.
I used to drink too many Monsters when I worked in that store. And that was a small period in my life where I did like them. I did have a friend who drank
You
a
made a
lot
lot of we made a lot of poor decisions back then.
I've made a lot of poor decisions. God damn, I've made a lot of poor decisions.
Welcome to our decision cast, where we talk about our pasts and how we've improved.
Diamond Dog's a hoe.
Randy Orton might be making a poor decision coming back. Because what the fuck is he doing with his broken ass back? This is
I
that
have
type
no
of thing.
idea, honestly.
This is that kind of thing that's like a wrestler that can't move on. Like, bro,
Yeah.
no, don't come back. Like, I understand, but no. Like, no. I don't want to see you die. I don't want to see him paralyzed, like
You just have that awkward moment where he just hits the RKO and he doesn't go for the pin, and everyone's just like, "Oh no!"
Some might call that, Greg. Some might call that the RK no.
No,
I hate you.
No, I don't. I hope not, man. If he hits an RKO, I'm gonna cringe so hard. They better carry him. When he jumps up in the air, he needs to be caught and then gently placed back
guided
down.
down.
Okay, but like it's gonna be punting season now.
Yeah, it has to be. He has to do.
I would not mind the punt coming back.
Why did they take it away? Because it looked too real.
I think somebody got
Did somebody get hurt?
bonked. I don't know.
Did somebody really get hurt?
Maybe.
I wouldn't
I
be
don't know.
surprised.
I only remember Vince getting hurt, but because the shoelace whipped around his face. Like they did a punt, and then Randy's shoelace whipped around and cut him in the face or
Ouch.
something. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. I guess
it's
War
weird
games.
because his entire career has been wrapped around that move, so it's like it'd be hard to change now.
Yeah.
Greg, you disappear. He's a tiny little guy
Oh,
in his
sorry.
box.
My back is hurting me. I went to lean back against the wall.
He's Randy now.
No comfort, Greg. Oh no.
You got
Oh,
to
no.
listen your religion.
They got like a new version of that theme song, I think.
Yes, they do.
Mm.
I don't
Yes, they
know.
do.
I don't know if I like that, but whatever. It's fine.
You don't?
I don't know. It's like it's not even like, it's been 3 years, maybe we should get a new one. It's been like 20 fucking years. Like, what are we even doing right now?
Since he got voices?
I don't know, it's 20 years. I'm exaggerating. It's been like
Okay.
13, maybe 14 years, something like that. I think it was like 2006, 7, 8, 9,
Maybe.
9.
The one everyone loves.
Because I remember it was big on iTunes. So iTunes had to have been a thing already. It was like the #1 song in some category on iTunes.
Sure.
But whatever. I just think it's been too long. Like at this point, it's so iconic. It's like if they changed Stone Cold's theme like now.
They did.
Now though, like today. Like, why would you do that? You're like, they did that to Carlito. Like, why the fuck did you do that? Like, what was the point of that? What was fuck you? Like,
I want Greg doing that to just be my ringtone forever.
That I want to put that over actual Carlito entrances.
Can that be our intro card? It's just Greg doing that
from now on.
Next week's episode, I don't want our usual theme song that we open with. I want that.
I wish I knew how to produce that. I swear I would have took those sound bites and turned them into some heat.
I'm gonna go out of my way to rip that out right now. I'm writing this down. 55 minutes in.
Douglas.
Oh no!
Oh man!
Rip Greg's audio. Send that in the chat.
What's funny is like it took me a while to remember what that song was because like John will know what I'm talking about. I only hear the Miro Shirakawa theme.
Yeah. That's the same thing. Same thing for me.
Same song.
Yep.
I sent it to my friend. And he went, "What in the name of the song is this?" I was like, "See, I knew you'd know it."
I know that's a Don Omar song. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi.
I never remember the name of the song or the artist. I just
we found out like on this show we have gone through this before. We've gone through this.
Yeah, this sounds so familiar to me.
Like I said, I never remember it, but I always know the tune.
Oh god! So we watched Full Gear, and we don't really have to talk about every single bit of it because we actually do that now. Like we have a Full Gear post show, but it is Nick and Greg who haven't gotten to talk about it. So there's some stuff I wanted to talk about the pay-per-view with you guys, particularly the main event and
the real main event, the death match, of course.
I'm sorry.
The wrestling purist is just doing the chant of like garbage wrestling.
The main event of AEW Full Gear was MJF versus Jay White, but it could have. These are both great wrestlers, so the thought going into it is you're gonna get a great wrestling match. And it's an AEW pay-per-view where that's on the menu. That's what we came for. Right? The main event is gonna be a world title match of this pay-per-view that's gonna be 5 fucking hours long, but we're gonna get to the end. It's gonna be great. All the matches are gonna burn us out, but we're still gonna have energy because the main event is gonna be this banger ass match. And when the show started, they did the tease like it's not happening. MJF versus it's Adam Cole versus Jay White instead, and the whole show had like that show long storyline, like you would see on an episode of Raw or WWE pay per view, and that played into the main event match. And for some people, that was just too fucking much. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I don't know if I can agree with it because I think that's what you're getting when you get MJF in that spot.
Yes, I agree with you, but continue.
That's a big thing to remember too. Is that's his style of wrestling. He's a showman through and through, and even just beyond that, he like we mentioned earlier on like the Wednesday show is his showmanship style with going with like that dance routine with Jericho and whatnot, the song and dance. And I was watching it with someone who's not really much of a wrestling fan. But, even they were really into the whole like show long story of, okay, this guy is injured. Is he going to be the one wrestling? Wait. And it kept them very interested. And again, they're very ADHD like me and they're, but they're not like really big wrestling fans. So that kept them going.
Yeah.
I think that, and I said a little bit of this earlier on the other show, is that MJF has always been this kind of wrestler. It's just that you got this in a lot smaller doses. Mm-hmm. He would do his storyline, and then he'd get one segment on TV, and then he'd fucking disappear. Like, I mean, he'd do his storyline, he'd get one segment on TV every week, and then the storyline would end, and then he'd disappear for however fucking long. And then he'd come back and they'd do the whole gimmick of he's getting his quarterly contracted match that he has to have. So now he's in the main event. He's getting fucking 4 or 5 segments all over the show, and it's all sports entertainment. And you basically have now built the show around sports entertainment, and that's a little much for some people.
I will
for
say,
me included.
Yeah, I think there's a lack of foresight in that issue, if only because I felt like this was going this direction a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm just having a how did you not see this coming?
Yeah. I get that. I think that MJF, the MJF Adam Cole stuff, I thought had a shelf life. I remember saying on this show, like, I certainly hope it doesn't go for too long. That would really suck. And then
They didn't even time to like buy Full Gear. That's too long.
Yeah, right.
John is having bloodline flashbacks.
And then Adam Cole gets injured, and the whole fucking thing is like, instead of being dropped, it's like, we will slow it the fuck down.
I was there. I was there, and I knew that was a problem.
Oh no!
I was sitting in the crowd watching Adam Cole limp, and I was just like, "Oh, that's not good."
Mm-hmm.
This whole devil thing
Crash land.
now is taking so long, and they brought in a guy. They brought in people like they brought in Jimmy Jacobs recently at the behest of Bryan Danielson to do creative stuff with them.
Yeah.
And Jimmy he's an interesting creative kind of guy. Like, if you watched like even if you just watched the Ring of Honor stuff that he did, it was a lot of like on the Ring of Honor show, that was a lot of wrestle. The Jimmy Jacobs stuff was like dramatic.
The man put together a segment where another man bled on him as he cut his promo.
He hung him from the roof, and then upside down, the blood dripped on them the whole promo, and they were drenched in, I think it was Mark or Jay Briscoe. It was Jay Briscoe's blood. It was an incredible moment in Ring of Honor, and it sticks out because they didn't do many things like that.
It was visual.
So I see a lot of that influence now.
This is a man who saved his Ring of Honor career with a music video about how much he loved this woman.
Yeah, Lacey, right?
Who did not requite that love.
Yeah. So I see a lot of that. I feel like you got MJF and Jimmy Jacobs in the room together coming up with this and fuck around, and Chris Jericho probably walked by and he's got these ideas.
It all fell apart now. Shit.
And now it's like really, really goofy a little bit. You know, it's like
we can. I feel like we can, all three of us can tell when we're watching AEW. It's like, oh, that's a Jericho idea.
Yeah. Ooh. The mimosa. What?
He did the Judas effect spin around like, hey, wait a minute. Let me tell you what I should do with this idea.
The orange juice.
And then he punches me in the face into a pool of orange juice. Yeah. I don't know. That was my Chris Jericho. It's not really good, but
placate him, and help us get this deal.
I can't lie. If we do an angle where I get knocked into a pool of orange juice, I'm just like, I'm taking sips.
I am. It's me. It's me sitting in it too. It's like, what
am I gonna complain about?
I think it was alcohol though. I think it was supposed to be alcohol.
I thought it was no. There was the orange juice and the mimosas.
Okay.
There were two different. That's how bad it is. It's two different.
I want to go into the orange juice because that's easier to wash off, and I don't want to have to drive home smelling like that, and then the police pull you over.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can absorb it through your skin too.
How do you explain that to the officer? So I was thrown into a pool. I actually have it on pay-per-view. If you put your fucking hands out of your pocket.
Get this man now.
Oh no.
We are too brown to be reaching for our cell phones.
Yeah, I'm not. My hands are on the dash, both of them, and my in my head. I'd put the head on the steering wheel. I'm not fucking.
No, so like to focus a bit more on the topic, I feel like I just feel like we should have seen this coming a long way. Not only with MJF's involvement, but like all of the edicts that people remember and clung to were Cody Rhodes' edicts, who, by the way, is going to WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
There is no better way to put that into context as the guy who came up with all this shit is going to WrestleMania. So yeah, we're probably not sticking to it.
Yeah. He had his own ideas anyway, and towards the end, it felt all separate from what it ended up. But
the guy we took the book from.
I still think that AEW branded himself as the alternative, like above every other thing that maybe fell through or didn't happen. Them being the alternative was the constant. And when I'm watching,
and the
AEW,
thing everyone was asking for.
Yeah, 100%. The thing I love. I want to watch fucking wrestling. Damn it! It's just a million of us. So fucking what? Just let the million of us relax with this damn show.
We wanted the big budget Ring of Honor show or the big budget PWG show or even arguably the big budget NXT Takeover shows. You know, whatever. And
I feel like they let these fans they let some of the criticism get to them, and they kind of lost sight of what they are, what they were, what they were supposed to be. I'm worried that they're going to lose it forever.
I feel like that's the thing. What happens every time someone tries the wrestling thing, and it starts to feel like the wrestling thing isn't working.
Yeah, and they're like, "Well, we need to move up," but you were fine. Like, you were actually doing better back then than you're doing now. Is that like you were making bigger houses? You were not having these issues. It was a whole thing about how your audiences were hotter and more fun to work in front of, and that's why the wrestlers wanted to move over. And then WWE got hot doing WWE things. And then you thought, why don't I try some WWE things? What the fuck? Let them do their successful shit. You're not going to be as good as they are with that.
And there is something to be said, because we've said it before, about the super fucking unfortunate timing of AEW coming around right when Hunter finally got the book.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's so much with like AEW just being right around bad timings. Like, look at when the pandemic hit towards like the very the second year of the company.
Yeah,
I always argue that tightened them up. That tightened them up from where they were in 2019. It made them a better show? I do think it made them a better show. I think
wasn't it also the show that Cody did his disastrous weigh-in segment?
Oh yeah, the whole angle, the whole turning it into nationalism thing. That whole fucking thing was a bust, and he ruined Anthony Ogogo. Like, she just ended that, which is crazy because they I think they still have him on the roster.
He's still signed.
Is he still technically a contracted talent?
He is, and
he
that's
did.
Just
after that, he did Dark for the longest time. They tried to bring him back here and there, just didn't work out.
He got another surgery.
Yeah, he had another surgery, and he's on the.
I know he popped up at a British indie recently.
He did the pre-show for All In because it was like him, Sabian, RJ City,
and
Renee.
Oh, right, because he's like because he's a Britain guy.
Yep.
I thought you meant wrestling.
No, not wrestling.
That's
fucking. They don't use him for that.
They don't use him for that.
They're saying they popped him as a personality because he's British. Like,
he's not even on in the QTV group.
No, he's not even related to them. The whole Monster Factory thing died. It's just
Solo and Camarado are still associated.
Like, once Cody left, I was like, yeah. I remember once Cody left, like, oh, are we still using all the Cody kids?
For what it's worth, Anthony Ogogo has been doing some like dark matches before Collision tapings.
Oh, okay, so they're trying. I mean, shit.
They want to do something with him.
They paid him enough. Is what it is.
Exactly.
I think it's not just the MJF stuff with the AEW Sports Entertainment. I think, and this is not to say like because the MJF stuff isn't bad, right? It's not like necessarily like, oh god, this sucks. It's just that, oh
Long-winded.
no, like this is long. It's on my show that I want to watch wrestling on. It's in the way of the thing I want to see. For some people, and other people, it's not that. Some people love it, but I think those people are more accustomed to American
I think if there's a
mainstream
problem,
wrestling.
I think if there's a problem with the MJF angle right now, it's just because of a certain commitment to the angle and some extraneous things that have happened. It has gotten wheel spinny.
Yeah, for sure. And the Joe thing feels kind of, I don't know how to. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I love Samoa Joe, and in this match, because I love Samoa Joe, I
love Samoa Joe too much.
Yeah, I hate to see him in this match. Like, I hate that this match was booked. I hate that they have MJF versus Samoa Joe booked for World's End. And that's not because I hate the match. I'm sure it'll be an excellent match as long as it doesn't have any of that fucking, shenanigans it did with the
I just found myself sitting here going, I don't care about the angle now because I want Joe to win.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I know he's not. And I don't think this should be happening. Like, I don't want to watch him lose again. He just lost to MJF in September. Why would you book this?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
It's the same conversation we have about being fans of both the of both Hikaru Shida and the Tony Storm angle. It's like, well, one of them has to lose, and I don't want either of them to lose right now.
Yeah. Yep. So that's one thing. But the sports entertainment thing, I think when it's not just the MJF. Because you got MJF. You got MJF going. You got Tony Storm going. These are great things. I love Tony Storm. Timeless Tony Storm is perfect. God, Greg, you need to see her segment tonight. It was like
Dynamite's playing. I'm just.
It was peak. No, you need to see that. That was
skip to it right now. There's all this time to skip right now, Greg. Go there.
Yeah. No, there it is.
Acceptance.
She comes out. They do a fucking award ceremony, and Renee and RJ present an award. It's the AEW Women's World Championship to Tony Storm, who's sitting in the audience, and she's fucking like shocked.
RJ. Oh, they're doing the Oscar thing.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's me.
And the crowd played along with it. They're like, speech.
Dude, she even gets cut off by her own music. They cut off her speech. Oh God, it's so good.
Oh God, they played her off.
Yeah, they did.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Oh man, that was perfect. But you have that. You have MJF. You have Sky Blue. You have Julia Hart. You have all these entertainment angles on the show at the same time, and I think you might have started to tip. No, thankfully, no. That's fucked up. I love Julia.
Wow.
I meant that in the way that they actually already had the MJF thing. Yeah, like they had the MJF thing. They had the Sky Blue in a triple threat match. That was an entire sports entertainment angle because it was the whole point of the match was that Ruby Soho really loves Angelo Parker and the former JAS members are beefing with Saraya, who both want them to be separate because they're Romeo and Juliet. And
they're anytime they focus on one another, they lose matches.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
So both of 2.0 have really weird angles happening where Angelo Parker wants to bed Ruby Soho.
Yes.
Allegedly, they're dating in real life too.
Allegedly.
Okay. And Daddy Mac won't let Daniel Garcia wrestle.
He says he's losing. Like this wasn't supposed to be this way. This wasn't supposed to be this way. That's his angle.
Devilman's back.
Devilman Crybaby, great Netflix anime. I never saw
Not
the original. But yeah, no.
It's Kane. No, it's Mojo.
The devil came up. The devil laughed. People thought it sounded like Jack Perry.
No way.
Who said that?
That's the most digitally altered voice I've ever heard. People are just trying to upset themselves again.
I love it.
you'll see now MJF in the angle. Adam Cole's like, hey, you should definitely defend your title because you said you would. Like, he's trying to get him to lose the fucking title. Like, he's
I saw I don't remember it myself, but I believe when they say it, I saw that people were noticing that like Adam Cole gave you both reactions when MJF came back.
Yeah. I didn't see that. I missed that.
You did
was
too?
he like
Okay.
was he disappointed? Was he shocked?
Like
What was
supposedly
that?
you get the face of just like, oh hey, like yay, my friend is back, but you also kind of get the fuck my plans.
Ah, interesting. I mean, it'll play
What are you
into
doing?
what else
Nothing? What my
what
plans?
else I see,
How are you?
right? For But no, the whole thing, like I was saying, getting back to the sports entertainment thing, the fucking
I don't think
we
they
have
left it.
Team 4-star.
all this shit.
soda.
All this shit is going on this show, and at the same time, you have the Continental Classic,
Yeah.
which is the
Which is like
attempt.
an interesting balance of just like wrestle TV show.
I think that's the attempt to tip the scales back in the other direction.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. It was 3 good matches tonight. You'll see them, I guess. We talked about them on the other show. There's nothing to go into detail over,
First.
but they did announce the fields, and it's a stacked tournament. I'm excited. It's funny, fucking Wade Keller, he didn't like it, right? He didn't like
Wade Keller didn't like the blocks.
He didn't like the blocks. He thought it was too safe and it wasn't prestigious enough.
Compared to what?
And I thought, and I retweeted him. And I was like, Wade really hates AEW. Shit's crazy. And he blocked me.
That's crazy. Anyways,
Classic.
I was like, you son of a bitch.
Like, has he seen
but-
some of those G1 blocks?
no.
I'm saying I don't think he has. I don't
He
know
has
what
not.
he wanted from
Like,
this, but,
I think he's blinded by the match quality that like some of those G1 blocks had Davey Boy Smith Jr. on them.
He's been chipping away. He's been chipping away at AEW for a little while now. I just noticed
That's
that.
cool.
That's all I'm saying. That's how I see it. But you got these 2 leagues, obviously A Block, B Block, but they're not called it. They're the Blue League and the Gold League. The Blue League is the Collision bracket, and the Gold League is the Dynamite bracket. And the fucking Blue League is
That's an
my
interesting choice.
The Blue League is my shit. The Blue League.
Blue League is awesome.
Brian, Claudio, Eddie, Daniel Garcia, Brody King, and Andrade. What the fuck?
It's gonna be great.
That alone is like that. If it would have just been them and the other block was like trash, I would have.
Andrade trying to work off what may be a couple of years of alimony checks.
But these fucking Gold League is no fucking slouch. John Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Jay White, Jay Lethal, Mark Briscoe, and Roosh.
Yeah.
This
I thought Mark
tournament is,
Briscoe was an interesting choice.
bro. He stepped up. He stepped the fuck up.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy TV Mark Briscoe. Like, I enjoy him more than I've ever enjoyed Mark Briscoe. I think he's carried the legacy very strong.
Mhm.
And
I feel like he's been the same guy I've always known, but like that's just that weird entertainment. I'm the crazy brother kind of guy.
yeah, no, that's for sure. But I mean, and maybe he was always this good, but I just didn't see
I think
it
he
that
was.
way.
I think he's just overshadowed by Jay.
But yeah, exactly.
He was because I used to see Jay as like the one, like the bigger Briscoe, and Mark
Shawn
was like
Michaels.
yeah, and Mark was like Mark was the Marty a little bit.
Mark was
Plus
the
now
Mark,
too,
yes.
honestly. Plus now too, you got the element that like he's carrying on their mantle.
That's
yeah,
true,
yeah.
but it's just his matches.
I always thought
are-
it was very interesting, and I say that in a good way. I always thought it was very interesting that like he never comes out to like a Mark Briscoe-tron. It's still the tag team.
I love that.
I love it.
I
It's
love
That's
great.
just like that's so cool.
Keep
love
that,
that.
going, please.
He actually said he'll never wrestle a 2-on-2 tag match again.
I
with
don't blame
anyone.
him. Yeah.
I love that. I'm just like, that's beautiful.
Like I'll do the
shit.
6-man tag. That's random.
Yeah,
shit.
that's
I get
fine.
that.
Exactly.
But no,
Six and
no.
out.
I'm never having like the one partner.
Could
ever
you
again.
could you imagine? I can't
Elimination
even
tag match.
imagine turning to the corner to look at one guy and it's not. No.
No,
Hell no. Hell
ain't
no.
The only other person he'll ever tag with, if he
Papa
lasts
Briscoe.
long enough, I was gonna say the daughter.
Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say if
Absolutely.
he lasts long enough, maybe he'll tag with the daughter.
It's only family now.
He
Yeah.
stepped the fuck up. I thought. I thought Mark is like his main event. Like they put him on Dynamite and they just put him in the main event. Like what? It's the craziest shit to me. It was crazy for me to get used to, but he's delivered like every fucking time.
Do we have a tournament yet?
Who him?
Oh, we're doing the Brett one, the Owen one. So maybe there's no room for that.
He's in there now. Oh,
No.
the Jay. Oh, to do a Jay Uso. Jay
I
Uso,
thought
what the fuck? Jay
in my
Briscoe.
head I was just like the Jay Briscoe Invitational.
I thought they would have did the Brody by now, but they never did. Dude, that was weird.
The Brody?
Yeah, like a Brody. I thought they would have done a Brody Invitational. I always thought they would.
Really?
Brody Invitational. Just big beefy men wrestling.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
But yes, Mark Briscoe, fucking excellent wrestler so far. His match with Jon Moxley tonight, great fucking stuff.
Those are two I
That was the main
see
event.
together.
That's good. I never thought of that match. Like I've never thought of that match, but they meshed.
Me
They
either, but,
meshed
like,
perfectly.
on paper, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but on paper, I'm just like, that makes sense.
Right? Even their graphics, they're both like scrunchy faced
Yeah.
grunge men.
No, exactly. Greg, def yourself right now really quick. Like that was the big thing too, was that element of Moxley offering the hand and shaking it to Briscoe, because Moxley doesn't do that.
No, he does not. He respected him. He respected this boy that I never met.
Let the record show they bled together.
They bled together. This man is respected now. Blackpool Combat protects him.
Exactly. Oh, that'd be really cool though if like a group goes after Briscoe, but it's like he bled with us.
He bled with us. We have to protect him now.
He might not be a part of it, but guess what? We protect him.
But no, man, these matches, just the match possibilities that I never thought of. Like Mox versus Swerve. It's going to be fucking sick. Mox and Jay White had a great match in the G1. Mox and Roosh. That's going to be fucking crazy. Beyond that, you got the Bryan match. Like for me, any match Bryan is in is like, yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also got, Daniel Garcia and Claudio, Daniel and Eddie Kingston, Eddie and Brody. It's fucking stacked. I'm excited.
I already predicted that Claudio and Bryan are going a full 20.
That makes sense. They beat the shit out of each other too. They're gonna kill each other. The thing I'm worried about is Bryan. Period.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
That's what I saw.
Especially with Andrade in there again.
That's what I said when I saw Andrade in it. I was just like, oh no.
He's just a nut. He goes crazy. So
I could 100% see him getting too silly with Kingston or Brody King.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But I mean, even when he's in there with Claudio, they hit hard, man.
Yeah, he's gonna get too motivated. He's gonna start going like, oh boy.
I can't wait to see him with Garcia again either. They had some great matches.
Yeah, and like that also offers up a chance to at least go back to doing that character development with Garcia.
I would love to see that because he needs it, because he's a great talent just waiting. I think he's like oil waiting to be struck. I really do.
Yeah.
I
saw a lot of people though being like, look at all the names in the Blue League though. He's probably going to be the one eating all the pinfalls.
That was one of the things that asshole Keller said when he was like, they got Daniel Garcia in there, who's a comedy wrestler, instead of Kyle Fletcher or Sammy Guevara or
Guevara's waiting
Takeshita.
for his fucking kid to fall out.
Yeah. The Takeshita is one that I would have liked to see in there.
That would have been great.
But it doesn't look like anybody from the Don Callis story stuff was in here. So they'll be busy. Apparently, like Kenny wasn't in here. Kenny, I can't imagine. I don't know if Kenny could do that.
No, I immediately said like Kenny Omega ain't doing this every week.
Yeah. I didn't think he'd be in here. Like I wasn't. I think if you were expecting Kenny, you were probably really disappointed. But
you're expecting a different year. You need to go back.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Kenny can do 5 matches in a row.
That being said, I'm surprised Danielson's in here.
Danielson's a nut job.
Because Danielson's not smart enough to not do it.
And they don't stop him.
But also, like
fine.
Yeah, and also like this is a what do you call it? Like this is almost a consolation prize for Danielson, getting the thing he wanted, not quite the way he wanted.
I'm also really surprised and shocked that like of the House of Black, Brody King's the one they put in here and not Buddy Matthews.
I was as well.
Or Malachi Black.
And Malachi Black even, but I like it for the sense that, let's see a lot more of what Brody King can offer.
Yeah.
I love Brody actually, and I think he's a great big man.
I love him buying action figures with Ethan Page and Danhausen.
Jesus Christ. That's my setting on like the tournament. Where first off, I should note, Mr. Keller, all of those G1s have Toru Yano in it, so kiss my ass.
And Yoshi fucking Hashi.
Fuck
you. Fuck you.
But to make a point, all those tournaments and this one have a guy who has an opportunity to surprise you, and that is both Brody King and Daniel Garcia.
100%.
That's the point to adding some of those lower tier guys to these tournaments.
Yes.
Some surprise wins.
Yep.
Greg gets it. That's why we do this show together. We and not with Wade Keller. Fuck you.
Never welcome on here. Fast forward 5 years and Wade Keller is a guest.
He's actually running.
However, the Continental Classic already has heat with me.
Really? Okay. What happened? What did it do?
It's teasing a belt.
It is.
I don't like it.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second.
I don't like it.
I am actually a really big fan of the concept of what they're doing here. They, if you don't already know, are merging the New Japan Strong Ring of Honor World Championship and this brand new belt created specifically to be merged into these championships to create the trifecta.
It will be interesting to see how they are referred to in post.
I don't think it should be the AEW Triple Crown Championship because that's stupid. It's meant to represent all three. It should just be the Triple Crown Championship. But I love this
Continental Classic Triple Crown. I could see even.
I fucking love that this is like the tournament to crown the first ever Triple Crown champion. It's the Continental Classic. It's like the fucking IWGP tournament or some fucking prestigious shit. If it lasts long enough, it'd be the coolest fucking thing to look back on. Like they did a press conference, they announced this. This is the kind of thing you read about on Wikipedia. Like, man, that sounded cool. Like I wish I could have seen that when it happened. Like you're watching that shit. They created a championship, held a tournament for it, and merged it with the New Japan and Ring of Honor championships to create a Triple Crown championship. What that's so fucking cool. That's cool as fuck to me.
Yeah,
and I know
on paper this is total fanfic.
It's a fan fiction. It's come to life. I swear it is. It's like I could have dreamed this shit.
I stare at the majority of what AEW has been for Tony Khan.
Seriously.
That's fair.
People have an issue with it because it effectively takes away the Ring of Honor World Championship after all these years.
It's been taken away a while.
I was like, damn, imagine acting like you still care when you don't even watch the fucking Ring of Honor show, you pieces of shit.
Yeah,
it gives the infantry something to do, though. And the workhorsemen.
Like, honestly, if even if you want to say, like, oh, it takes away the Ring of Honor Championship, like, yeah, but what were they doing with it?
Yeah. It was on AEW.
Is it any less gone now than it was a month ago?
And it's not
a whole new one too.
It's not off the show. The belt isn't gone. Like Ring of Honor is represented within the Triple Crown. Like it's the Ring of Honor Championship. It's right there.
They can still defend it.
The whole Triple Crown is the top title for Ring of Honor. And you get to go defend it in New Japan. And you defend it in AEW, which you already were doing. And that's cool, but it sounds cool anyway if you say it out loud. But I think it's cool as fuck. I'm a fan of that. But the actual belt that they teased is probably what Greg was
referring to. Yes, it was. There was. I sent John the video for the actual tournament commencement, and there's a covered up championship belt front and center throughout the entire video, and they don't reveal it by the end. And now I'm even more miffed to see that same covered up belt is at the show. So now I'm just annoyed.
I'm more annoyed by the fact
I don't
that
want to wait till December.
It looks like it's the same shape as the international and the women's belt.
The
And
main three belts, the main three singles
fuck,
belts.
Fuck you! Like, I'm sick of this. You can't do this to me. I hate uniform belts.
Big plates.
I hate uniform belts. I don't mind the design. Like, but 2 is already pushing it. A 3rd?
Well, in fairness, they aren't. They're not as seriously uniform as they could be, right?
They're not WWE uniform, but
or Noah uniform, if you remember.
Or
that
Noah
day.
uniform, or even New Japan
Those
uniform. Back when the IWGP version 4 was the same as the junior heavyweight belt, but it was a little one.
Yeah,
it was the
and more silver.
And silver, yeah.
But it was the same design, yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of uniform stuff. If they have red leather do a 3rd belt based on that same, what is that, big Mid-South? What is it, a Mid-South belt with the 4 circles on the end?
I don't completely mind it, but I understand what you mean. Like there is a similarity between the styles of the women's belt and the international belt.
Yeah, the only difference is that
it doesn't help that the international. It doesn't help that the international belt and the continental belt are sort of like the same thing functionally.
Exactly. I feel like there's a lot of people too that I saw on like X and whatnot that have been like, why did they just put the international title up for grabs in this?
I hate you for referring to it as X, but I still love you anyway.
That's what it is now.
It's Twitter.
I think that
look at it right there on the little scroll bar on the bottom, on the lower third. It says Twitter/X.
I think that the international belt is probably, it's been through a little bit of, it's been through a name change and fucking,
because the first one was stupid.
Let the record show too. This is going to be for just the AEW titles alone, their 9th championship title.
It actually removes, because it kind of it removes the New Japan Strong Belt.
No, because I'm talking from like the main one. So you got the AEW World title, the International title, TNT title, FTW title. Then you got the World Tag Team and the Trios titles. Then you got the Women's title and then the TBS Championship.
Nice. There's a lot of belts.
Number 9.
Everybody gets a belt.
Doesn't even count their, because they also like to feature the Ring of Honor ones. This doesn't even include those.
That's what it's a weird thing. I love belts though. Yay! Shower me with belts.
I love that shot. I love the shot of like Hook and Shibata and Orange Cassidy with their titles. That looks so cool.
That was really cool.
It did, yeah.
I thought it was interesting because I didn't realize Orange Cassidy was building like a group of friends. I was like, that. I at first it looks random, but then you're like, no, that actually makes perfect sense. Those are his boys.
Exactly, for years, like he's been developing this group.
I was like,
you want to talk about friends, John?
He's made better. I was gonna say they're better friends than the best friends. I guess they're higher caliber. Notice too at the pay-per-view, he brought Hook with him and not any of the best friends. It's true. He brought some people who can help. So the actual champions there. What are you saying, though, Greg?
There's been a lot of talk in AEW about friends.
Oh God. I thought I even did like a rant, I think.
Did you?
On the pay-per-view show about how Adam Page and Swerve had this great match, and at the end, Adam Page got jumped by Swerve's people, and where the fuck were the Elite the whole time? They were just gone.
So the Young Bucks are upset that their friend Kenny Omega is friends with Chris Jericho. However, their friend Adam Page was getting his ass whooped, and his friends were nowhere to be found. By the way, in the main event, Adam Cole is attempting to defend the honor of his friend MJF against his former friend Jay White until his friend MJF comes back. By the way, Adam Cole's old friend Roderick Strong does not agree with this friendship.
Adam Cole actually screamed at him today on Dynamite and said,
Adam.
"You are not my best friend anymore. Don't you get it?"
Oh Jesus!
And it didn't sink in at all.
And he was like, "No, he doesn't mean that."
Yeah, he doesn't mean that. He's just dealing with a lot.
How do you feel about the Friends?
All Friends
All
Wrestling.
Elite Pro
Remember, they
Wrestling.
used to say All Friends Wrestling.
Cody used to say this will never be that.
He used
Cody's
to
at WrestleMania.
say a lot of fucking things, didn't he?
I would say my mom brought up a good point. This wouldn't have happened if he just stuck around with the Dark Order.
You motherfucker.
Wow.
If Adam had stuck with the Dark Order, they would have came out to help him.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would have.
God, those were good times.
Does AEW have too many friends?
I miss AEW in 2021. Oh god damn.
That was peak.
I miss it so much. You don't know. I feel so grateful that I got to go to shows in that era. Like, oh man.
What do you think, Nick?
Does
AEW have too many friends?
It's been feeling like All Friends Wrestling.
I don't mind that they, because it used to be that their stories were not crazy, so like they needed something like people being friends to give it an emotional hook. But now it's like that's all we can think of as wrestlers, because I guess what are we doing? We're all pitching the same shit, and there's some guys saying sure.
The only reason that like Omega and the Jackson 2 not coming out for me was okay, they're on next. So I could kind of grasp like they're preparing for their respective matches, but
that's
No,
crazy
just roll
because
the
he got
segments
his
into each
ass
other.
beat for like 5 minutes, and then they put a chain around his neck, and then they fucking
and his Swerve's meathead friend came out.
it was crazy.
Let the record show Brian Cage is a better friend than the Jacksons.
And they're famously bad friends. If you freaking
I mean,
they're even being bad friends again. They trademarked KTB Wrestling, Killing the Business Wrestling, and Super Dick Party.
My God, people.
all right.
I imagine they're because when in PWG, right? The story is that they were babyface, and then for the crowd just turned on them, and at some point they started getting booed heavily, and they were like, "Fuck," like we live here, like what the fuck, and so they turned, and
Were the
that's
Bucks
where,
actually getting like booed heavily?
yeah, they were. It was like
Okay.
they were getting shat on, and they were like, "Fuck." And so that's where they healed. That's where they first turned heel, and that was like the kind of heel Bucks that were in Bullet Club and New Japan. It was the beginning of those kind of young Bucks. So I kind of like that that's happening again, because I wouldn't say they're getting booed now. Like they're not getting shitted on. The crowd isn't actually turning on them. I don't really think. It isn't as bad as I thought it could be. Like CM Punk fans badgering them for the rest of eternity, like the Bret Hart fans do Shawn Michaels. Yeah, like, but they're getting a little stale. I thought the Young Bucks. I love the Young Bucks, but they're a little stale. I'm glad to see them do a new thing.
Okay.
But you got this bidding war thing that happened with MJF, and WWE put out a story into the dirt sheets this week saying that they believe MJF has signed with AEW. Because there's been no attempts to talk to them. Like MJF has made no attempt to contact WWE at all. Like his free agency is supposedly in 4 weeks, and there's never even been a conversation with WWE. So they decided that they wanted no part of this if it was going to be a storyline, and they put the fucking story out there to say like he's got to be re-signed. That motherfucker ain't even trying to negotiate with us. So I laughed hard as fuck, because I mean I get it, but that was like classic petty WWE shit. Like you fuck that. You're not gonna have no storyline that even almost implies that we lost a free agent. You already took Will Ospreay. Like, fuck you.
All right, that's it.
Hell no. So I laughed hard. What do you? Isn't it obvious that MJF fucking resigned? I thought. Have we not
He's
talked about this?
double champion. They're giving him all these big storylines where he's wrestling every single person on the roster practically. Everyone wants a piece of him. He's the world freaking champion as well.
I thought it was obvious when he came back.
Totally going to WWE.
Yeah, no, sure. I thought when he first came back from the from that not sabbatical, the fucking you fucking Mark thing. I guess it was a sabbatical. He took a break. I thought he negotiated his deal right then and there. I thought he was legitimately frustrated. I thought maybe the all in, I mean not all in, Double or Nothing weekend bullshit that happened.
I think the truth is.
Oh, I lost my camera.
Oh, jeez.
I plugged my phone in time, and I lost it anyway.
I think the truth is, objectively, that around Royal Rumble, people just get really stupid.
That's true. That's really
every year.
I mean, there's that, but
no, you don't understand. He's gonna be a surprise entry.
He legitimately was. He bigged this up as a thing, right?
Yeah,
he the bidding war of 2024. He's been saying that forever. Like, Tony Khan better pony up a lot of money, or I'm gonna go to WWE. Like, He was used to tease going to WWE a lot, and then WWE actually got good, and I was like, let me stop saying that. Let me stop saying that. But so yeah, what do you guys agree that this is pretty much obvious? It has been.
Oh, there is no bidding war. Absolutely not. That was a silly angle to start with.
At least not in 2024.
I thought it was a fun. I thought it was cool when you couldn't tell, but WWE sucked the air out, right?
As they tend to.
And I wonder if when they were gonna do a story, I wonder if there was something planned that they can't do now, or that they might try to. No, MJF and AEW. I wonder if they try to do it anyway. Like, fuck it.
Why not? We planned it.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Because they set up this whole thing. They got the pay-per-view, the end of the year, the day before the day before the goddamn end of the year when his contract was supposed to be up. You went through all this trouble. It's in his hometown. All this shit going on. I don't think they should abandon the story anyway. Just do it anyway. It's fucking wrestling. What does it matter? Fuck. But yeah. The last thing, I guess, we talk
you want to talk about character development. I'm loving that Christian Cage has become a father. Let's get
an actual father.
The father. The patriarch.
His neutron is fucking great. Did you see it?
Devoted, sacrificing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, father. I fucking love that shit, man.
That's your father's dead. Dead.
He's not looking for the peeps anymore. He's looking for anyone else that needs to be adopted.
Like 2005 Jonathan. 2005 Jonathan feels so fulfilled seeing.
Oh, about the promise of Christian Cage.
This Christian Cage, because I knew, man. I wanted him to be WWE champion back then. I wanted him to pin John Cena. I thought he would. I knew he would. I thought.
Is it too late between NWA champion Christian and now to just do that?
I think he. What's crazy is, like, he's probably the most or second most compelling thing on the show right now.
Right.
Like, he already feels like the top heel, like the world champion.
Old to put there.
He might be too old to actually crown. Like, you bring scrutiny when you do that, right? Like, maybe he's already there, so maybe just use him as he is because he's already there. It doesn't need that belt.
Nick?
He already has a belt.
Yes.
Is it too late? I want your thoughts.
It's never too late. I mean, if it works, it works, and
It's never too late.
exactly. In the words of 3 Days Grace, it's not too late. It's never too late. It's like if you have lightning in a bottle, age is just a number. We've seen countless champions in different eras throughout wrestling that have been within their like 40s and 50s and whatnot. It's not that you want to do it for necessarily the long-term implications of your company, but sometimes you get a thank you run in there. Sometimes it's just about this just has to happen.
Sometimes the angle's just too hot.
Exactly.
Isn't that how Jericho got the belt? The fucking angle was just too hot. They were just like, "Fuck it, you're world champion now."
It's time.
I think if Christian did.
Well, we lost John, but honestly, yeah, I think if it works with Christian, go for it, do it.
Fuck.
And I think everyone would appreciate it because it's not just the fact that he's this like great in ring talent, because so much of his stuff is based on showmanship. It's so much of it's based around
it's just
all kinds of other things.
Pure
Exactly.
Heat.
Exactly. He doesn't need to wrestle 10-star matches. It's Christian Cage. He needs to be a great dad, which he is.
He's so hot right now that he doesn't even need good gear.
I just think that if Sting didn't get a thank you world title run, then none of the old guys should get one. Like if we didn't give it to Sting, none of the old guys should get it. That old motherfucker.
Because I don't trust Sting to have a singles match anymore.
That's true.
I don't think Sting trusts himself for a singles match, apart from the retirement one.
Right.
I think that better be a fucking.
He's clearly just getting into shape for that one.
I hope so. I hope it is. I really hope it is. I mean, I understand if it isn't, but I hope it is.
You get the Japan style 10-man tag match where you get all their friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Sting, bye-bye, surprise, January 2019. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, and probably my favorite thing of the week, was that fucking crowning achievement for Swerve Strickland so far. That goddamn Texas death match.
The crowning achievement of that match is Aubrey Edwards dancing backstage.
Oh god, but she's a professional dancer. She's showing off cheating.
Is she a professional?
She is, or she was.
Professionally trained, let's say.
Oh yeah, well she doesn't get paid to dance anymore because she gets paid to referee.
Right.
What is it? Like she's just always good at everything, it seems.
Yeah. I'd be like, nah. Imagine
Fight
she's
Forever.
lying.
Fight Forever is not so sure about that.
Well, listen, she's got better game design skills going on than I would ever have.
For sure.
Or either of those fucking AEW mobile games.
I would love to see.
They're terrible.
The Nana entrance with the professional dancers doing the fucking Nana dance was like his WrestleMania.
I do love the idea that so all of you women, that totally get paid to do this and all that. By the way, you're gonna do this dumb thing that this guy came up with on a random Wednesday.
That went viral.
And they make it look like a real dance.
They do. They put effort and skill into it.
That was great. That was really good.
It's almost like it doesn't look as fun when you have actual skilled people doing it.
Yeah, like it's not a joke anymore. This is real shit. And Swerve comes out and they're all dancing around him, and I was like, "Oh man, that looks good." Like, I used to be bothered a little bit by Nana, but he even said it. He was like, "I don't even care, bro." And I was like, "Okay, well then, if you don't care, then." Like,
there we go.
He's still getting over. Like it's not doing anything to dampen him at all. Like,
but before we go, I don't want to get off it. But we were just talking about Christian, and now we're talking about entrances. I will say I did appreciate the weird child chorus, thing they did on the pay-per-view. That was really off-putting, but also kind of cool.
It works so well with that new Contron intro.
Yes, it does.
I also loved the Darby Edge Sting Pokemon Evolution line thing they had going on there.
Was that what they doing with the bats?
No, Darby looked like a Squirtle, Edge was like a War Turtle, and Sting was like a Blastoise. It was like a final stage. It just looked like they looked like each other. They all wore the face paint, and I love that
unification. But there we go.
I love that Sting thing. Like I love that
Everyone
thing
wears
he
the
does
paint.
now. They all wear the paint, but it's like a mixture of all the things. Like they all had an Edge jacket, but they had
Yes.
paint. It was cool as fuck. That was
Even
cool as fuck.
opponents do that. Like Brian Cage still does like the Sting paint here and there. Even when Sting's not even involved in anything he does.
Brian is an interesting
Yeah.
fellow.
Not to bring him up again, but I feel like he's the only one that did it. I like that. I loved when they did the 6-man where Punk did the old paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking cool that he just did the surfer gimmick instead of the
Exactly.
Crow one. There's a
Which
lot
is
of
such a
directions
CM
to
Punk
go.
thing to do as well.
Oh yeah,
I love how it's evolved. It was like first it was
I'm waiting
Sting
for
came
somebody
out.
to do the red.
But I love it. It was. I mean, it kind of when they did Seek and Destroy. I think he should have done. He should have came
The
out
red
with the
paint?
red. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like how it kind of evolved. It was like
people
Sting
associate
doing.
the red paint with Seek and Destroy.
I don't fucking know, but all that older WCW late shit mixes up for me in the head.
Oh, Red,
Oh, you
you're
poor
you're
thing.
talking about like Wolfpack Sting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Sting a lot of people want to try and forget.
At
That's
this
what I'm
point,
saying.
I think we just don't.
I'm saying, like, don't people also
Wolfpack
wanna
Sting
forget-
defeated the purpose of the Crow Sting.
But don't people also want like I remember reading because I didn't watch it, but I do remember reading somewhere that the Sting that used Seek and Destroy, it was a cool moment, but people weren't digging that shit either.
I didn't understand it, but I was just like, whatever. This is a cool song.
Yeah.
that's pretty much right.
Like this is based.
The match was great, and I'll say this as a noted hater. Adam Page kind of got his man card back in this match.
Yeah, fuck, man, fuck. That
It
was
the
cool
first
as
time I
shit.
thought Adam Page showed some genuinely good and like captivating passion in a while.
Intensity.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
unhinged. I loved it.
I don't
Drinking
care
the
for butterfly
blood and
jeans, Adam
spitting it like
Page.
Triple H.
They touched his baby.
Who's just a good teacher.
They touched the man's baby.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it. It triggered the dark cowboy inside that man. I was like, that's
The
a
dark cowboy.
that's a cowboy. Like that's a cowboy. Holy
Cowboy
shit.
shit.
That
I'm
was
getting
cowboy
flashbacks
shit.
I'm getting flashbacks to Lesnar touching visibly pregnant Sarah.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I'm coming for you. What was that? Like 2003?
I think so.
Was that no more? Was that the biker match? Bike
No,
chain
that was.
match?
I think that it might have been, or it was either then or before Hell in a Cell.
That'd be
It was one of
2002
those
then.
pay-per-views.
That was 2002 then.
Okay.
That's okay. It's not in the fucking promo video though. They show the fucking
No, they
thing.
don't talk about it that much after that.
Yeah, they only show when he crushes Taker's hand.
No mercy.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple months.
Yeah.
The end is here.
Right.
I love that fucking song.
I missed
The
that.
end is here. I love that
Oh,
shit.
the Armageddon
Bring
theme.
it back.
Yeah, man. Adam Page got his man card back with me, if only for this night. I hope he can continue some of that.
I'm surprised he wasn't in the tournament. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's probably true. Other than that, man, there were a lot of interesting things that happened in this match. I say interesting because a few of them gave me some thoughts. I thought the stapling match was a oddly babyface choice.
Oh, Swerve powering
Yeah.
out of it.
Swerve stapling himself.
I had a friend wondering if they
That
were
was
doing
badass.
if they were doing a double turn because Hangman
I could totally
maybe went
see
too
why.
far. Yeah.
I could
So Brian
absolutely see
Cage is
why.
being a good friend, being like, "Whoa, this guy's going too far. I'm going to step up and save the day."
So now all the baby faces jump to heel. Yeah.
There we go. That's what I like to see. This is why
Yeah,
Sting
man.
should have done this in the 80s.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was one thing where I was just like, this is a very babyface thing to do. Like I'm thinking of Sting taking the chops and just like you know what
He
I
started
mean?
stapling himself. That was wild.
Is walking
It
forward
was.
with this like bloodlust look. That was great. That was a beautiful visual. I enjoyed that.
It was,
Fuck.
yeah. But that was my thought. I was like, this is a babyface moment. He just turned Swerve.
But there was so much cool story things in the fucking blood stuff. Like stapling the baby's finger paint picture to Swerve's face was like, I love this shit.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, because they're when Swerve goes to Hangman's house, he goes on the fridge and he grabs that painting and he looks at it and he puts it back. And then he goes and he talks to the baby, puts the shirt there. And Hangman takes that same painting and staples it to his fucking face. It's fucking great. Like that was excellent. I loved it. There's also some
only
wild
a baby, so you don't have to explain why the painting ain't there anymore.
Yeah, right. What did you do with the painting, Daddy? It's in my
Let's not
office.
talk about that.
It's in my office. I hung it up. Don't worry
yeah, I
about
did.
Someday I'll show you where it's at.
When you're old enough.
Oh man, that was great. There was also the stuff that happened by accident, like the fucking the chair. Did you? Okay, is it Hangman standing the up and looking in the opposite direction on the turnbuckle, and Swerve smacks him in the back with the barbed wire chair. And the fucking barbed wire rips around and grabs Hangman in the face and pulls upward. It was horrifying.
Face and his hair.
God.
Holy shit.
I did see the part where I saw the hair catch.
That was
Speaking of, you guys see the part where somehow, some way, for that pilot driver, he stayed upright, and afterwards, Hangman had a gash going like along the top of his head.
Yeah, the referee was checking him. He was like trying to close it. It was wow. It was sick. It was
all of a sudden he's just drenched in blood. It's what happened?
I want to say, like, guys, you can gimmick the barbed wire. Stop this.
They could have gimmicked the staples too. What the fuck? They didn't gimmick anything.
Yeah, those were so visible.
They were visibly bleeding every single staple.
And matter of fact, they have gimmicked the barbed wire because that barbed wire bed was gimmicked as shit.
It was, but the
one that Moxley and Omega used.
They've used gimmicked barbed wire, and I think, but the problem is that even the gimmicked barbed wire is it's like barbed wire. I've been cut actually by barbed wire, and not wrestling. It was.
Oh really?
I was
real
in the
barbed wire. Crimea River.
No, there was a playground in my park, up my block when I was a teenager, and we climbed over the fence into the backyard of the building, and they had barbed wire hidden, and I fucking cut my arm. I still have the scar. I have it forever, and it looked like I got shot. My fucking people thought I got shot because you know where we live. That's what the fuck you think. You see somebody's bleeding.
I can relate to that happening.
Yeah, and so the way the barbed wire, real barbed wire works is that it's hooked, right? It's got it hooks and it grabs you.
It's not like a straight barb. It's got
the gimmick. Yeah. The gimmick barbed wire though is straight. It's a straight barb, but it's still a fucking barb. It's still right up inside you. So it's like when it whipped around and grabbed Hangman's face, it could have been fucking horrifying, like for real. But
it was close to his eye.
But it was really close to being bad anyway, because even the gimmick barbed wire is still barbs. It's just not the hook one. You know,
I'm gonna poke you.
Although I've heard that some gimmick barbed wire is actually like rounded tips as well.
That'd be cool. If they should get that. They got a big budget.
I've seen it too. Like the movie barbed wire is like kind of like little rubber tips.
They should have that. Why wouldn't AEW have that? Why don't they have that?
Hey, listen, you know, Hangman always wants something to prove for cowboy shit, and then on top of that, Swerve's an army guy, so I think they're both tough.
The problem is that like two very different things happen, right? Because you end up getting the situation that happens where those deathmatch people who have seen death matches watch the stuff like Kenny and Moxley going into the barbed wire bed and no blood coming out.
Yeah.
And then that gets criticized.
Then you get this match where everything leaves a goddamn scar.
Yeah.
I just think this was probably the most violent match I've ever seen on mainstream American television. Like that was wild. I loved it though, because it wasn't randomly wild. It was like he broke into his house and did all this shit, and that was the result.
John having flashbacks to Orton and Hunter having a wrestling match.
it was like this is what I've always wanted, like this this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
It healed something in me.
How many
Years
home invasion
later.
angles have we done?
A lot. Austin and Pillman,
Which ended up in a
Triple H
gun,
and
which
Scott,
got some
gun.
people pissed off.
It makes sense.
You're like
It was
9mm.
realistic, if anything.
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember the comment that got to that the USA got for it?
No, I
His head
don't.
off, his effing head off.
They were upset, obviously, with the whole thing about Pillman brandishing a gun, and then the response to that was, "You realize you have a detective show that comes on right after us with people shooting all sorts of guns."
For real.
And they're like, "But this looks real." And like, "Oh, god damn it!"
It's that like meme where it's like the face, and then it's the face followed by the angry eyebrows.
Yes.
I think that this. Oh no, go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm trying to remember other things just to really say about the match. Somebody said he had Bray Wyatt tribute things. I guess they thought the right leg was like his Fiend gear.
It was Swerve posted about it.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he confirmed
Okay,
that it was Bray
that
Wyatt
wasn't
tribute.
okay. So I thought that was just I thought people just read into it.
No, it was really it. It was. Yes, sir.
Well, that's lovely. I did. Like I said, it was a great match. Good lord, did Swerve bleed?
Yeah.
That was a mess.
But a lot of, once again, great visuals for Swerve. Like, so much can be built around just this match alone for future years down the line promo packages for Swerve matches.
Looks like a crazy son of a bitch here. Like,
does.
this is not the same person I saw in MLW or NXT. I can say that.
100%. Not just that, but he also looks like a star.
Oh man,
Sure.
he looks like such a champion. I am so glad. Like, look at this. He said he would be like. He said, "I'm the best signing." Like, he said it before anybody believed it. Like, I'm the best signing they've made from that other company.
He's been proving it, and he looked at earlier. We all said like he was pretty much our favorite for at the very least his division in the Continental Classic tournament.
Oh yeah, he's winning that. I think he's winning that. I think his block is his. His or Mox if they wanted to
block.
Yeah. I don't know about the tournament. I don't know if he's winning the tournament. I think it'd be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing it sort of draped in gold like that, but I kind of wanted to see Brian or Eddie. I mean, Eddie Kingston for the sentimental value, because like how big, like what kind of life crowning achievement moment would that be for like Eddie Kingston? Like, I became the Triple Crown champion in America. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Plus, he's the one that offered the titles as well.
That's the kind of shit you never imagine in your life, in your childhood.
Yeah.
Like, you imagine, like, I watched Dragon Ball Z and I'd be like, one day I want to be a fucking Super Saiyan. Like, it's never gonna fucking happen. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah, I was telling John, like, the way they set this up, like, Eddie Kingston has effectively vacated the belts.
Basically, but I look at it more like he's defending it against 11 people. That
would mean
like,
more if the loss has moved the belts around.
Right, but I mean like not one person at a time, 11 people. Like if the tournament is a like one situation, like a match, like this belt is on the line here, and at the end of this situation, the winner will be the champion. Like, I kind of see it like that a little bit. Like, if he comes out and they don't announce him as champion, I would understand. But I hope that they do. I hope he at least makes it to the finals of his
whatever
block.
that means.
Right, I don't know how. I mean, the two with the most points have their match against each other in the league finals.
Are they doing it that way?
Yes, they said the league finals are in
Orlando.
Orlando.
So there are semifinals.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So they're doing the two of the most points will face each other in the league finals, and then those two winners,
the world championship,
will face each other. Yep. So I at least hope he makes it to the finals of his block. 'Cause I need that emotional thing to happen. Like, if he's gonna lose, it at least has to be a big ass moment It can't be no bullshit. Oh no, he lost by points. He's out.
He lost his belt.
Come
by,
on.
Womp womp.
Come on. Could you fucking imagine?
Goku, no.
Could you imagine?
Goku got taken out by the heart virus all over again.
Oh my god. So yeah, then that means the blue block finals will probably be Danielson and Eddie, right?
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'll be tough for you. You're just sitting there, just going like, "Oh, which one of these guys?"
I don't know what.
John will go through it.
I don't know what the fuck. Like that'd be It'd be heartbreaking to see Brian beat Eddie, but then like Brian, like Triple Crown champion, walking into the Tokyo Dome against Okada. Oh man, so many.
John has emotions.
This is a lot. This is
John's going through it.
So who's the finalist? Who are the two for Gold League, do you think?
I am thinking Swerve, and it's either Mox or Jay White, because it's Mox seems like, because you want
reputation
by that, and also because you kind of want to tease the Eddie versus Moxley possible finals, like if these two could possibly face each other, and I think that is a possibility. I think Swerve versus Mox is also a very different, like a high level match. Like that would be a good thing to have in that position.
The way I see it is definitely like Swerve and Mox, and it'll be a situation where Jay White's gonna probably get too silly, and Ass Boys are gonna make him lose points.
Yeah.
Because they already hinted at that.
I think this is a big time for Swerve though. Like I don't know if he should be the next champion. I don't know if he should pin MJF, but it shouldn't be very long before he is world champion. I think actually Swerve versus Darby Allin would be a really cool world championship match. They have a long history. And they're from the same place, and for them to culminate that career rivalry in a world championship match at some point.
And they're alleged besties.
It is so difficult to be a main event level guy in AEW right now.
It really is. Holy shit. But I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess.
I see. I don't know. Like I'm not saying because of the competition, but I'm saying because the angles are so tied up.
It's a lot. It is a lot. You're right about that.
You know, we've got an angle that obviously leads to a very particular guy that they're waiting for. And he's the big heel. So now we have to figure out, like, do we want to get it off that guy, or do we want to make turns? Like, if you're Swerve Strickland, you're waiting a while.
That's true. I think, because...
You know what I just thought of?
What's up?
This is, again, my ADHD brain at work right now. I'm just thinking that, like, wow, we got through the Continental Classic brackets, and Jericho didn't want to insert himself in it.
He didn't. He couldn't. No way he could have.
Hey, boss. Yeah, you know what would be a really good idea is if you pop me in there in the gold block.
Tony asked him, and he didn't even acknowledge it. He just talked about something else.
Nice. That's great, no. Chris. So, anyways,
nice.
No, you're gonna instead get jumped by Starks and Big Bill.
I'm hungry. Ooh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay. Hello. No, I dropped the graphic by just hitting enter. And I was like,
nice. All right, do it again. I want to see now.
Whee!
Oh, that's fun.
That was fun.
Again, we're learning as we go, folks.
We're going. Yeah.
You're here with us as we learn this. And you, after watching a million of these video podcasts, will learn as well.
I wanted to drop like pictures and stuff, but I didn't know what would get us in trouble and like what wouldn't.
That's a valid point.
Like it's so fucked up because I just want to talk about the damn show, and they're like, pay me $1 million. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like my argument is that anything that was served publicly is fair game.
I just want to use like a screenshot. Like, I don't even want to use video. I never did. It would
be
like
screenshots anymore.
5 seconds.
Oh no.
Anyway, here's this really nice picture of Dragon Knight.
Oh, I love that. We stand Dragonite.
We do. He is probably my favorite Pokemon. I think so. He's like a Labrador dragon. It's ridiculous.
He is.
I love it. I love it so
But
much.
the golden retriever Charizard.
Yeah. Like a fucking. I
man,
just
the
want to
freaking-
play fetch with it.
The freaking tombstone onto the barbed wire chair was gross.
Fuck you, right? Ah.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was just like, they've done so much to each other that.
So
Hey.
I'll
Go ahead.
yeah, I'll make an argument here that I don't think people will like. I thought the barbed wire was almost used too much. I have a big thing about diminishing returns.
Yeah.
After a certain point, it was like, okay, we just keep going back to the barbed wire spots. They're starting to feel less effective.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
That's why I'm glad that they started bringing out table and
I
then
think-
like the cinder spot and then the
A
the
barbed wire
sack of
table,
dreams.
I think I felt that.
They had like the
mo-
regular table too.
I felt
Yeah.
what Greg felt the most when Adam Page did his moonsault. What the fuck is it? It's like
The
a
fall away
moonsault scoop.
moonsault.
Yeah, the fall away moonsault, like the scoop slam, and it was
Yeah.
into the barbed wire, and it was like, it was no big deal because of everything you've already seen.
Right, it was just another barbed wire spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and I
like
love that move.
This
That's
kind
how
of
I
gives
know.
me like the shades from like Hell in a Cell with Mankind and Undertaker, where when they pulled out the bag of thumbtacks, it was like you can't top that. So I'm like, why are you pulling out thumbtacks? But then when it was glass, I was like, okay, that's fine. That's what we need here.
That fucking 450 onto glass.
That was like, why aren't you doing the swerve stop here? That makes no sense. You're hurting yourself.
Why
That's
did
what I
he do
thought
that?
too. I thought the swerve stomp was coming.
Oh man.
Who told
That-
you to 450?
I was
That
very
was-
surprised when he chose the 450. Like I'm gonna fucking throw my chest into it, which has already been through enough tonight.
Yeah, which already has all these staples in it. Let's add some
Yeah.
glass shards. And then he
You
ends
got-
up looking fine. He's like you said, like he's a model when he's at the football game.
You guys know how much I love hardcore, like big budget, hardcore plunder matches.
Yeah.
Right.
If a plumber going on, baby.
But I'm trying to decide, like,
Also, your boy
is-
Nana taking the biggest bump he's probably taken in 15 years.
ever, yeah, maybe ever. 'Cause I don't remember seeing him
Trying to
go
dance his way out of it.
upside down into a table. Trying to dance his way out of it was perfect.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Fucking scumbag. That's so good.
The real, he's our scumbag.
For real though. The story I might even have told already or will tell in the future, I guess. But the what the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah. the damn match. I don't know if I some people were saying it's like the best AEW match of the year. And I was like, I think I don't know if I
Mm.
agree. I know that it's so different from the other matches that you would think of as AEW's best match of the year, that if you thought that because of how much you like this kind of wrestling, then I understand. I don't think you're like objectively wrong. Like that was probably the best kind of that match that you will ever see. Like, but then I think of like Bryan versus MJF, and I think of Kenny versus Osprey, and I was like, damn, like how does this compare to those? Like, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think it's up there with those, but I also think that's a matter of personal style.
It's gotta be because that was such a high level match of that style. Like,
Yeah.
I get it, but that was just great. That was
It
great.
was.
That was everything, though. I mean, that's pretty much all we have to talk about. But did you guys want to do your thing?
Yeah, thing.
We should get logos for that stuff.
Oh, that's the stuff that we should like pop up image wise.
Yeah.
It's
John's just coming up with this stuff as it happens, baby.
Yeah.
Again, folks, you're
That's how you
hearing our
learn.
process.
That's how you learn. Like, it's just like the podcast. Like, the audio stuff is so much better now than it was the first time we tried it. And
We evolved.
imagine how good this video stuff is going to be. in a couple months.
Oh my god, what was the first program we used for DSR?
It
That
was
turned out to be
Zen
absolute shit. Zencaster.
Zencaster. Zencaster,
Hey,
and
that predates me.
it used to lose the
Yes.
audio sometimes.
Yes.
horrible times.
Oof.
Fuck, those were scary.
Oh man.
It was cool though.
Those were some days.
It was
The
cool.
dark
It was always fun.
The dark times.
The dark
It was-
times of that shit radio.
It was always fun though. I loved it. I loved each and every one of those, just like I love these, and they're gonna get so good. You have to send me logos so I can pop them up on the screen.
It's the evolution.
Probably not now because it might take a couple seconds longer than you want.
Intake of it, but let's do pull logging time. And per usual, we're going to start with the Cold Case Project, which is a channel that focuses on all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. Coming up, premiering at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, is going to be Unsolved Mysteries. It's a compilation of 20 cases, documentary format, and it's a solid 3 hours long. I think this is the longest video on Cold Case Project yet. So go
Solid
check.
3, man.
I love the Cold Case Project, and I love what you guys are doing. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Is every cold case not an unsolved mystery?
It's kind of, it really depends. Like a lot of cold cases themselves are just cases that are either unsolved or maybe have had like something that there's a dispute over what the authorities have dictated as solved.
I
But-
see.
Or there's like certain issues with evidence or whatnot, and it gets locked away until, as time progresses, such as with a lot of stuff with, say, 23andMe. There's a lot of like new DNA evidence coming up that's, heating up those cold cases, so to speak.
My wife wants to get me a 23andMe, and I don't want it. Like
I personally don't trust like that.
I don't want to put my DNA into a database, but
Right.
two,
Exactly.
I don't want to find out something unpleasant. I don't want to be like I'm fucking
As
I'm
a
a
black man,
conqueror.
I find that putting your DNA into a database to go through its past only ends in pain.
If you or anyone you know is dealing with pain, though, make sure you go visit monk.com, monq.com. That's Monk Aromatherapy. So you can use promo code DSR10 to get 10% off your purchase for the holidays. There's a lot of different flavors on there, especially ones that can help relieve you of whatever pains you might be dealing with.
That's perfect.
All right.
What's up on Major Issues, my friend?
Oh, wait, I have one last plug I completely forgot
for
about
it.
until now.
Oh
Plug it, you
shit!
bastard.
Oh
Your
shit!
boy Nick is gonna be, you guys might remember, like a couple months ago, I said a promo for Ruby's Rebalanced mod on Halo 1. Well, guess what?
Somewhat, yes.
Halo 2 is a thing, and Ruby's rebalancing that mod,
Is it?
but not just rebalancing it, but your boy Nick is gonna be a voice in the mod as well.
What?
Oh,
That's insane.
Voice actor extraordinaire.
Let's go.
You have to send us a clip of that.
My years of playing a D&D character and doing fun voices is paying off.
That's incredible.
That means you have to work out a deal where you advertise the show as that character.
Get the DSR references in there.
That's fucking amazing.
No, you have to advertise our show as that character.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're doing ads with that.
Doing ads in the voice, you got it. Evac Team Alpha represent the ads of their stream.
That's great. I'm excited for that. I can't wait to actually see that. What character are you? What character are you voicing?
I'm going to be Evac Team Alpha and possibly a Marine. And as time goes on with more work being done on the mod, I might even be some Covenant voices, perhaps.
Nice. Dude, they should have you do a sex voice. It's fire.
Oh my god.
Just because it's awkward and great. What's on Major
Well, that's
Issues?
what the voice we have to maintain for Dirt Sheet Radio.
Oh, good. Greg?
Next week on the Major Issues podcast, and by next week I pretty much mean like what, tomorrow? Tomorrow after this episode comes out. Thursday on the Major Issues podcast, November 23rd, they will be discussing the very successful and very popular season 2 of Loki.
Fuck, I loved it. I love that. I think Loki might be my favorite Marvel thing. Period. I think.
Really? Hmm.
I think the whole thing altogether, because I loved season 1 like a lot. I thought it was bold, and I thought they did some interesting things, and I thought having a dude want to have sex with himself on a Disney show is very interesting. And I thought I've also wanted to have sex with
Wow.
myself as a woman.
That went places.
All right.
That went to some interesting places. Places that it went to a bold place. In fact.
Need any help with that? They have the love pen on monq.com. That's monk.
Oh, come on!
This is what you get when you stick to the plugs.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, we don't just do clean plugs here. We did that once for Batman because we respect it too much.
That was the most professional thing we've ever done.
It really
my
was.
god!
We had to time it and everything.
Nothing
really
else
cool.
compared to that.
That was really cool. But
The Batman plugs,
yeah. No, I'm kidding about the sex stuff, but I thought it was really good. And then I thought the second, I thought the second season wasn't gonna be. I thought it was like, why are we pushing it? Like, why would we do another one? Like, what the fuck? I thought it was gonna be like adventures with the cool characters that had all the development last season, and then they brought it all the way around, and it was like, oh shit, it's still one thing, but not just in a story way. It was like it was always still one thing. And I was like,
I was gonna say, I always kind of saw it as it was supposed to be one season, and then
I didn't see it that way. I thought that the second one was like we're doing a whole nother like, oh, we're time traveling and chasing King around, blah blah. I was like, fucking corny shit. But it ended up being good. So thanks for that. But also check out your Dolphin Pop podcast. Oh, what? Whoa! Somebody, a hurricane just happened. No, the Dolphin Pod podcast, the Revenge of the Sequel, Countdown to Infinity, the Loki show. I'm sure they just did one. The Marvels, all that shit. And if you stuck around this long, here's a nice picture of Misty.
You said Misty, and I got triggered. I thought you meant like my dog, and I was like, oh.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just glad it was actually a nice picture of Misty.
It was a Pokemon card. It's I want it, but I never pulled it.
I'm just saying, there are a lot of unnice pictures of Misty on the internet. And
no, she's like 10.
This is genuinely nice. And did you see that nice assortment of food there? Because hey, guess what? If you're listening to this right now on Thursday, I hope you have a nice assortment of food in front of you. Because happy Thanksgiving if you're listening in America.
Hey.
Happy Thanksgiving! Happy birthday, Mom! Happy birthday to my brother. His birthday is today. My mom's birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us, though. And for our first, I guess this is our first real video podcast thing. We've done one before, I feel like. We've done interviews. We've done video interviews. We've done a couple that were video. We've had like one audio only podcast that has like 2,000 views. For some reason, I don't know what the fuck we were talking about on it.
Probably CM Punk.
So weird. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link. It's like, what the hell's with the performance of this particular video?
That's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. But I'll let you guys go. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.